Just waiting a few key data points coming through here. We're getting initial jobless claims. We're getting PPI numbers as well. More inflation coming through. There it is, 0.2% on the month-over-month PPI for October versus a consensus 0.2%. More of the same on the core side of things, 0.3% versus 0.3, the forecast 0.2. So slight uptick on the core side of things. Initial jobless claims just coming through on the week over week, 217,000 versus 225. Continuing claims 1.87 million versus 1.89 million on that side of things. Going to be a busy day on the Fed side of things. Fed's barking, kicking it off at 9:15 this morning. If I scroll down here a little bit further, though, yeah, Mr. Powell going to come and grace us with some comments this afternoon, 3 p.m. He will be giving a speech, and it's specifically on economic outlook or projections going into not only 2025, but there and beyond. So stand by, strap in for that. Might be a bit of a wait and see as far as the market is concerned ahead of, again, 3 o'clock this afternoon. I'm not sure why you can't wait an hour and let the market close, but you know, that's how these things tend to happen. But lots of things to talk about this morning as far as individual names. Disney, nice look, 10% for Disney to the upside here. Just took out day highs there, a little bit of a pullback right now, but going to keep an eye on Disney here going into the open this morning. SMCI continues to crumble all the way down to 18%. Might as well be 18%. It's $18.11 downside so far this morning. Just an absolute mess. And oh yeah, Bitcoin hit 93,000 overnight.
Love it.
What a move.
Loving it.
What a move.
Yeah, great look here, Brendo. Let's talk about SMCI first. So I was doing a little digging. Looks like they got delisted previously back in August of 2018, got relisted back in 2020. So this whole song and dance is nothing new for them. We're going to keep a look. We'll keep an eye on them. Obviously 83% drop from the highs that we put back in March. Nvidia getting a price target upgrade today, Brendo, and a lot of money is finding its way into the crypto market now. Just by way of comparison, we've hit $3.2 trillion market cap now in crypto currencies. But just to give it a little bit of a comparison, gold, Brendo, still at 19 trillion, and the market cap of the S&P a light 50.5 trillion. So not big.
Not that big a deal, no. Market downside there on that, looks like PPI number. It was a little bit higher, I guess, on the core side of things, month over month. Not a huge move, but just be aware, we're back to red here on the NASDAQ. You mentioned Nvidia there. There was a note from ASML's CEO saying global chip market set to grow by 9% annually, passing 1 trillion going into 2030. So yeah, all the analysts with positive notes, or most of them anyways, on this entire group once again this morning. UAVS, little one moving around this morning, that BTCT, just an absolute wild ride yesterday. Back in action, or potentially back in action, higher again this morning. It's only 40%, Sean, at this point this morning. Good morning.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, you know, yeah, it's not 100%. Remember yesterday we had that $12, now today $24. A name that I like today, it's actually on our watch list, and welcome everybody to the show.
Morning.
Yeah, Wednesday. Market doesn't like that PPI number, but I don't know why. I feel like the same thing's going to happen again, where yesterday we popped up during the number. Where's yesterday? Oh, did I already pass it? Right there, and then we came all the way back in. And I feel like right now something similar could wind up happening. We'll dig down a little bit deeper here into the NASDAQ, because you still have a good little, oopsies, where did we go? You still have a good bouncing spot up at 21.1. So we're just bouncing off there right now. Yeah, but new scale. I mean, again, you know, I know they're losing a lot of money. They're trying to get this all figured out. But as we talk more about hyperscalers and getting that energy going, we just talked about the $1 trillion market there, ASML commenting about the chips. Like, they're all going to need to be run. And I really like SMR. We haven't sold. We sold some, I think, at 18 and change, which seemed to be a little bit nuts at that time, or good at that time, but not good now. Huge moves here. I like this 2660 break right there. And then I'm glad that we had talked a lot over the last couple of days about Disney.
Oh boy.
Because, oh boy, were we right about that one. We were talking about Netflix and what I think this Jake Paul thing is going to put up the number-wise. And then I thought, and I talked about it too, I said, streaming right now seems to be a little hotter than we thought. Disney right here, their best and most profitable streaming quarter they just had there. So up 9%. Nice move up for Disney. I mean, we nailed this one as well. We talked about this. I mean, I remember asking Brian about it on Tuesday, well ahead of the earnings. And he doesn't like Disney too much to begin with. But yeah, we talked about it. We liked it. Nice break there. So I think Disney's also a pretty big trade today. So that's going to be on the sticky note as well. This breaking back through this 110 area right here where we had that shelf. Now we break a little bit higher. If we can get some sort of a pullback into 110-ish, we're gonna be hitting that one as well. And then, wow, yeah, Bitcoin 91 right now. I mean, on its way back up. We have some IBIT on our mind. And then what up to everybody yesterday? What a ride this was. Oops, BTCT. This was yesterday.
Wild.
It was a little different yesterday because we had some pullbacks and we had that $12 area from the day before, right into here, and then blasted off. You can see today, though, wow, huge mover one more time. So there's 12 yesterday, right? So we had, at this time of day, we had some levels to look at. Right now, you'd have to wait for a pullback, basically to 19 or to 20, I would think, for some kind of levels. It's the Eras Tour kicks off in the T-Dot.
What?
Get ready for the biggest event in Toronto's history, probably. You know, and then we'll have... we can all hate it, but I mean, ultimately,
not as big as that Raptors
it's
win,
literally saving, like, the amount of money that this is going to bring in for the city of Toronto. Like, you can either pay more tax or just let these kids run around for a minute. I think that'll be really fun. So, anyways, let's get Rogers some more money so they can make the Maple Leafs great again, and the Blue Jays great again, and we will be happy with all of that. But yeah, six sold out shows right now, bringing in, like I said, more money to the city than has ever been brought to the city of Toronto ever before. And then we have World Cup coming, though. That's going to be big. That's next year, or is it 2026? The World Cup's coming here. So as long as we get our... I'm nervous about the World Cup because of all the flooding that could potentially happen if we get a crazy rainstorm. All the action's going to be down there on Lakeshore, on where the field is.
I mean, how often have we gotten that kind of flooding?
I don't know, once a summer, it seems like nowadays. But yeah, you're right. Hopefully we won't get that again. Okay. So BTCT on my mind, SMR on our mind, Taylor Swift on our mind. What else is on our mind?
No, I agree with you on the Disney, man. I think I'll be watching that Disney once again. Kind of a strong push there. A bit of a double beat there on their earnings. Not really pushing any sort of fresh highs on this name. Let's go to a weekly chart and take a look at where we're at right here. So we're kind of coming into the range of the week from earnings in May on Disney. Again, we've been having quite a bit of a downtrend there. That downtrend again breaking, I guess earlier in September, mid-September, kind of breaking October, and now we're in November with that continuation back to the upside here. So yeah, I'm curious to know now off of earnings, we're coming back into some of these prior highs there. 122s. I don't know if we're going to get a 10-point run on Disney, Sean. But I'm looking at this prior level right here at that 116 as well, where we did get that selling, that earnings reaction, that week of earnings reaction high right there at that 116 from May. That's a key level in my opinion on Disney. Let's see if we can get there. Very, very strong off of this earnings report. We broke back above 100 over the past few days there. We attempt to push a little bit lower and aggressive strength. Now here we have that anchored VWAP right there in
Where's this price? 110?
110.15 as of right now. We're holding it off of the reaction. We're hovering above it as of right now. VWAP as well, very, very similar because the earnings were in the morning. And yeah, SMCI definitely on watch as it continues to I guess, experience troubles. They filed that, I think, what is that 12B25 or something where they cannot file for their earnings in time, and they're poised for a bit of a delisting, it would seem. So interesting stuff nonetheless. This thing has been just fading off since we got that news of some sort of accounting fraud. Again, we talked about this yesterday as well. That earnings volume can't really get it to move with any sort of significance back towards its former levels there, and we continue to sell off. 2020 was that earnings day one low level from prior couple of weeks. We actually broke that going into the after hours. We're trading lower now. So I'm going to be curious if we can get back up. Do we catch a bid up into 20? We have been selling off for multiple days straight. This thing can still kind of bid up all the way to this anchored and still be well within that downtrend. So that's what I got on watch today. And a couple of earnings names as well. Earnings day twos, we saw how Rocket Lab was yesterday. Going to be watching that. Let's see how that 20 potentially comes in on RKLB. That thing, we were sitting short on that thing in the going into the close, but it gets a nice little pop back into that anchor today in the pre-market. Let's see if that 20 comes into play once again today. Lots of volume being churned in a 40 penny range going into the close in and around that $20 mark. And another one that I do have on watch is Kava. Kava also had earnings day one yesterday, and look at this, Sean. Closing at day lows, pretty much gave back everything that earnings report push gave it. So we're going to look for that potential fade, continuation of that fade there as well coming into today. So it gave back all of its gains and closed at the low of day. Looking for that continuation. If that selling is real, we have a bit of a pop. Where will that selling catch back again? If we're looking for a further extension to the downside, all of that earnings volume just taken back away.
People hoping that Kava can become the next Chipotle. I think it's very possible. I mean, Kava, we don't have it here, but from everything that I've read, Chipotle is $80 billion market cap. I think Kava is 17 billion, something like that. So I'm in SMCI right now for the first time. I wrote down on the sticky note, which is going to be published in a couple seconds, that I like this up to 1850. So let's give this a shot here. We're in it right now, a nice little rally in the market off that PPI. Like we mentioned, market go down, market going to come right back up. So we'll get that all figured out. But right now we're going to short SMCI up to 1850. So let's go back over to the desk.
All right, a few other things just popping up right now. Meta didn't really move on this, but apparently the EU fining Meta another 800 million. Their yearly EU antitrust rules breach fee for Meta just coming through. So heads up on Meta today, possibly downside. Saw a note on this as well. DJT, or Trump Media anyways, announcing full operational status of Truth Plus content platform. DJT downside here right now, pre-market. That's a daily chart. Still pretty volatile the past couple of days here, but under a little bit of pressure so far this morning. For DJT, if you missed it, again, to start things off this morning, PPI, the core number on a month-over-month basis, slight uptick, 0.1%. So the market did react a little bit negative there to the downside. Keep in mind, again, Powell coming up this afternoon at 3 p.m. He's giving an economic update and projections or forecasts going into not only next year, but the next couple. So market could be a little bit sketchy, I think, ahead of that today.
Oh, yeah. He's always, it's always interesting when he's on the mic. It's a wild card there, anything or question that could throw him a curveball. And an interesting answer, so we'll definitely be all ears there. To build on your point, Brendo, about the EU fine with respect to Meta, it looks as if they're upset, the European Commission that is, that they're tying in Facebook Marketplace with their flagship app. I gotta tell you, I'm just speaking for myself here, but I don't really use Facebook for the social media aspect of it. Like 80% of the time when I load up Facebook, it's to go into Marketplace so I can kind of see that whole idea there. Yeah, $842 million the European Commission is fining them. Separately, you're building on DJT. We saw a lot of appointments come fast and furious yesterday for the upcoming cabinet, or what do they call it down in the States, Brendo?
I mean, different, like different appointments that they do
exactly.
every time they switch. Just hearing more on that as well. Trump saying okay, so there's more of that coming through right now as well. Just a heads up on DJT. It's not really doing anything downside anyways here, as we were saying, to kick things off. Chinese stocks specifically, I mean, ADRs across the board are red to start things off. Specifically, the EV names, though, under a decent amount of pressure. There's XPeng right now. Again, a daily chart. We're gapping down, set to open down here right now for XPeng. All of these NIO looking similar. It was the third straight red day in a row for both Japanese markets and Chinese markets overnight over in the Asian session. So there was more talk about the real estate sector as well in China. That was a little bit on the negative side. Basically, they're not doing enough, fast enough was the summary, if you take a higher perspective of it. But starting to fill some gaps here, guys, on the way up for some of these ADRs, back downside now.
All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, Randy, how's it going? That egg that you had was pretty impressive there.
That was a good egg.
Did you wind up having one or no?
Yeah.
Oh, you had one as well.
Yeah.
like egg wrapped in bacon, like all intertwined.
Yeah.
No, I'm okay.
Like a
I'm not
mixed
gonna-
egg.
I'll get to all over my hands there. 1840. Oh man, we were waiting at 1846 for SMCI. All right, so look, I actually. Look, I own Meta, and I think that we don't want to hear negative news about Meta or anything like that. But again, this is one of those names that's had its move up to the highs. We were just there 2 days ago or yesterday, up to $600, and then we faded again. I want to buy this name. So I've talked about this before. This would be a name that I buy on dip there in and around 560. So I think that would be a spot. Okay, there it is. See, this is the example of what. Is that what's in the middle there? Is that like a little chimichurri or pesto sauce right there? See.
Solid.
All right, we'll just keep it there to. This is like our theme, like breakfast.
Breakfast.
There you go. You can have your banana. All right, so I think down into here into 550 is like I might just wind up eating that once you start talking. All right, so down into here 550, 555. I think that's a good buy spot for Meta right now. Without Fabian, if you come over here, I'll just show this. Yeah, right into there. So I think that's a good spot. A little bit below the 50-period moving average. You want to buy more at the 200. I like Meta. One of the cheaper names, to be honest with you, in the Mag 7. I mean, I don't have to. You can just look that up as far as PE. But anyways, here comes Meta coming back in. Not too much volume today. I'm not worried about this stock, and I'd probably rather stay away from it. I had we'll trade. It's a little expensive with the spreads and stuff. Like it has to hit key levels. SMCI now in the money, coming back in a little bit there. And by the way, Obi asked me to pay for some. We got some pay for shorts there, so just letting you guys know that we also had to pay for shorts. So if you are out there in the wild, as they say, get over and make sure that you do have shorts. Look, FXI. I talked about this yesterday with Matteo and Wayne a little bit here. I just don't think there's any tailwinds right now for these guys. I mean, you just get Ricky Rubio coming through as Secretary of State. That's not going to be apparently not going to be good for China, but we had that move in the last little while, starting to break a little bit lower. We've seen Dollar Tree downside some of these tariffs. The thing about the tariffs is they can be basically instituted day one. So I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think that's going to be great for China. There are some great names there. Like I've been saying forever, if Alibaba was a U.S. company and operating the same way, obviously they wouldn't have the same numbers, but they would be, much more beloved, similar. It's not like an Amazon, but you know what I mean. Amazon sells at AWS. So I like Alibaba down here. I feel pretty good about selling Alibaba where we did up there at 117. One of the best decisions I had made. We are holding on to some of it though as it falls back into these levels. So I don't really want to buy anything until China just gets going again. I want to see all these names above the 50-period moving average. If we can get that, then fine. I could be completely way wrong on all of this, and maybe these are great buying spots. But you don't want to buy stock when it's up here. You feel a lot better about buying names when they're down here. It's like Rivian. Rivian the other day gets that big bump from Volkswagen, and then all of a sudden goes up that 20%. You could get, and we'll watch Rivian. Again, you don't want to be buying stocks as they make their moves. You'd rather buy stories you like sort of on the way down if you can wrap your head around it. So for right now, for China, I don't see it. And a stock like NIO down another 2%, I think it continues to go lower. Man, I wish Randy didn't bring this egg thing there. I almost need like a fork, cut it in half. I don't think I'm going to have that, but. All right. Any thoughts on any of this stuff?
Yeah, no. I'm looking at the Heng Seng here, their futures, and yeah, no, we can see that push that we had, a little bit of a stimmy do-up right here with that increasing volume and that trend. We've kind of given a lot of that up, decreasing volume now, coming in onto these futures. We consolidated in and around this 20,000 mark as a bit of a base, and we're trading a little bit lower. So yeah, we kind of came in with this aggressive selling that did break that trend, and we've pretty much been selling off since then. So yeah, a lot of, I guess, looking for that backside on a lot of these China names. Just you can see the index is very telling there on the Heng Seng. So yeah, I think if we're looking for trades on some of these names, maybe looking for shorts, shorting the pops. Now I know was it JD? They had some earnings today, I think, or yeah, they had some earnings this morning. So look at that, a bit of a similar story here. Let's see if we can kind of look for areas to fade on this ticker with the whole Heng Seng kind of on a bit of a downtrend. So should be interesting here. A couple of earnings names on watch as well. I know Billy also reported today as well. So going to be watching some of these as well. But I think we got Disney and Lunar, which are a little bit more in focus for us today.
Right now we have Bob Iger, I guess, talking. I'm hearing in my ear right now. So we're gonna have to watch out to see what Disney's doing. But yeah, still up 8.5%. Disney. I like the stock. It's on the sticky note. Sticky note now posted. Go get it. Thanks to Bears vs. Bulls posting that up as well. We're short SMCI.
It's China too.
Oh.
A couple things. So we'll touch on Cisco here in a second. I was just bringing up the chart, but this one, if you go back to, I think it was during COVID for KXIN, they were selling used cars, I believe, or trying to sell used cars or something in the automotive industry online specifically. This is a Chinese company, by the way. Popped up yesterday, had a monstrous day, doubled. Comes all the way back, aftermarket, all the way back to $4 here. Just popped up again. I mean, long story short, they're now in crypto. So another one, I think we were talking about one yesterday that was the same.
Yes.
They just add AI or crypto to the end of their name, and then you get that kind of a move.
It feels like March 2023 all over again, when everybody, anything came up. Oh, we're doing AI now. You pop up 30% in the day. Yeah, it's a good look. But here's the chart, Fabian. I mean, it's a tough one to look at. We were at $550 in March of 2023, and now we're talking about a $4 stock. So it's a bit of a tough one there. We'll see if this one pops up. They did do a reverse split several times. So we'll keep a look at that. Should I cover Cisco?
Yeah, I was just going to throw in there too. 842,000 shares. So many possible reverse splits there. Tiny float. Yeah, go ahead.
0.2 down here for Cisco. Brendo, EPS, they exceeded revenue above the expected net income. They did beat, but it was still down from what they printed last year, 2 3/4 this year. They printed 3 2/3 last year for take-home money. Here's how their different segments went. Networking revenue fell 23% year over year. Security grew significantly, so they made up for it over there. And the collaboration revenue slightly above expectations. They continue to suffer delays in some of the government contracts that they've been waiting to execute with Cisco. So those have been pushed back. They're still not on the books, but they did boost their full year guidance.
Yeah, I mean, this thing on its way back up in a hurry right now. Morgan Stanley, the latest one just coming out on the analyst side, maintaining their overweight on Cisco, but quite a reversal here. V-bottom off 56 there, guys, just about to go green now for Cisco.
Yeah, we had that report there yesterday on the after show, on the recap show there, and it was up and down. We had the candles breaking higher, then breaking lower, and now nice little move back. Cisco's had, I was looking at BTCT. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. There's a lot of you guys in the chat there that must have saw me trade it yesterday or saw it on Twitter, and now we're here. So I want to thank everybody for being here. We are going to look at that in a minute. But here comes Cisco right now. So as Brendan mentioned, though, nice move down there. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you get lucky and you're sitting around and you're waiting for prices. Well, if for some reason you're at this sort of area right here, 57.50, then you got a nice long all the way back to 59 bucks. This has been a huge day. Like if you're looking on the daily chart, basically just stair-stepping down. You had one little opportunity to buy it there. You haven't even seen the 50 period in a long time. And now today we're going to be up here, 59.60. Too far for me to get excited about it. I like the space. We talked about the importance now of security and everything like that. So Cisco still has a spot in the market, but I mean, it's huge. It's a monster move, and it's from 45 bucks up to $60. They're from August to November. I like the stock. It's not as exciting for me today. Obi and I sit here and we talk about what we're looking for when we have earnings beats or misses and things like that. Rocket Lab, yesterday was a perfect example. We had Tesla moving on their earnings report as well. Huge move up, continuation play. We have Disney today as well. We're going to talk about many names. We have iBit moving around on, again, it seems like earnings every day on Bitcoin. So for me, Cisco is going to be a pass. This BTCT, quickly, and then I'll go over to Obi. I think we should be buying this in and around here, 23.75 into 23.50. Like any kind of dip buy opportunities right now, I think we like. As far as breaking out of this, so again, the Chinese name. So we talked about that Cation, and I remember that with Brendo when he said that, because I remember talking about Cation Auto. I feel like that's what it was called, and they were up there, $26, trying to break a little bit higher through there. So 26.50 to me is the break long. I don't really think you want to mess around too much in here. I mean, that's 26. If you want to take a quarter position or something, breaking 26 and then getting something out at 26.50 to put some money in your pocket, that would be fine. But then I also think that could be the extension into 28. Like if you get today, guys, if you get 26 to 28, please take something out. That's my initial thought there. And I am sitting to try to get some longs into the 200 period moving average. You know, yesterday I thought that we looked at it. It didn't do much in the afternoon. We were able to still get it out up here. But at the end of the day, what we were looking at was breaking the last couple days highs, right? It was up 300%. Then we go up 100% or whatever it was yesterday. And now you're up again here today. So I would just say be careful with any levels, because just the same way we broke higher, we could still break lower. And then the real support, I don't think comes in till 20. So that's the area of concern for me. I don't really want to hold too much past this 23 area. So that's going to be it. Get the longs into 23. If 23 breaks, we'll regroup. And right now, SMCI.
Still going?
Not going that much, but we're short 25s. We just took a 10 bid. So we're starting to get a little bit lower on SMCI. So we'll take 15 cents right there, and we are going to wait for a little bit more at 18, and then hopefully we can fade back in again. SMCI, pretty much the number one play on here. I have Disney marked down, but we wrote down, I mean, I was talking about SMCI yesterday, $22 we had written down there yesterday, and we fell asleep on it because it went to 21.80, and we should have been short. So, oh boy, on that one. So today, let's get the party started early so at least we know we have it. I'm going to go get a fork and start eating this egg thing. You got your fruit salad over there, so I can't stand this anymore. All right, are we ready for Adara? All right, then Adara at the screen.
American Airlines here flying a little bit higher with this Barclays upgrade and a $16 price target. Campbell's Soup, this was actually a name that Brian Shannon was talking about a couple months back here, getting an upgrade today from Piper Sandler, up about 1.5%. Doximity was on the downgrade side of this list yesterday. Today, though, getting an upgrade from Morgan Stanley. They reported earnings earlier this week, so they're definitely on some analysts' minds. And then we have Suncor with this upgrade from Desjardins. On the downgrade side, Papa John's PZZA here with a downgrade from KeyBank Capital Management. Plug Power here with a downgrade from BTIG. UBS downgrading Blink Charging, but it's actually up right now on the day. And last but not least, Sun Communities with a downgrade here from UBS. What a list, guys.
Thank you. Back there. Okay.
All right, a few other analyst moves that we mentioned there early on this morning coming through as well. AMD, you were talking about this one a little bit yesterday, back to the upside, just saw that one flying by on a activity scanner there, 0.9% still positive. What a week it's been, downside for the most part for AMD. This one's definitely taken a back seat in this sector.
Yeah, sorry, Brendo. Look, it's not a good look for them today because they're cutting jobs, and we never really want to report on people losing their jobs, but that's a fact of life. 4% of their global workforce likely will lose their jobs, but 1,040 employees out of a 26,000-person team. We know that they are the second largest GPU maker after Nvidia, but quite frankly, Nvidia has over 80% of the market there. So, you know, they're just playing for a distant second here, Brendo. So we'll have to see how they do today.
Yeah, it's a shame, really. We're just, I zoomed out here a little bit. We're through this low, if you go back to the beginning of the month right now, but trying to bounce back above it right now. So 0.9% in positive territory, but not a good looking chart here, guys, trying to roll over a little bit once again for AMD.
All right, so guess what? We're in BTCT again. All right, so BTCT just fell right into our pocket one more time. So we're long, right where we said, yes, sir, bang, it's your first dollar club. Let's keep going. Let's see if we can get a little bit more. Here we go again. So we took the long. We're long at 23.50. It's at 24.50. Well, it just touched 24.50. We'll see if we can get a little bit higher right now. We're offering 25 bucks. We did take out 10%. We took out 10% at 24. Now we're waiting for at 25s. So maybe we should put this on the Dollar Club member board right away, right here again on this one. BTCT making us pretty happy here to go. Could still fall out. Let's not. You know, we made some money yesterday, a good amount of money. There it is.
Damn.
You look at that?
Would you look at that?
You take a look at that?
Just look at it.
Wait, take a look at that?
Yeah.
Right there. All right, there it is, guys. Boom.
That was beautiful.
I'm glad we just talked about this. We just gave those exact levels. We talked about what we like to do. We talked about what our area was, where we were getting out. You know where my stop is? Breaking 23s. So right now, this stock is $1.50 in the money and still going on a 30-cent stop. So, yeah, good play. Wow, we just got filled on something else up there. We just got filled on 25 evens right there. So $1.50 in the pocket. It's BTCT. There it goes again. So, all right. The only problem is now I have no idea what we're talking. What were we talking about? Oh, AMD. All right. So yeah, hey AMD, what's going on, my guy? Oh, by the way, so we have this stock right now at $1.50 in the money. We have SMCI right now. We just got filled at 18s right now as well. So we've got some trades on right now. Are we doing the rundown or just talking about AMD? Because I think we're just talking about AMD, right? So SMCI, still the move down. So we have right now in total holding over $1.50 in the money on these two trades. So we're pretty happy with what we've been doing. All right, AMD, look, I think breaking this 140, we talked about this the other day. I don't know why I keep looking at Nvidia because Nvidia is stuck at the top. I think Adair and I discussed this on the recap show yesterday. At the end of the day, Nvidia is a completely different beast. AMD definitely cannot get higher. High, you know, there's the high, lower high, right? Now it's starting to break lower. And if you look on even a shorter time frame, boom, boom, boom. We can't get going. That's 148. You're not going to get that today. That would be pretty sweet if that was the case. You have to look at a break of 140, right? I mean, we're doing that right now. Here comes down in 135. I think you can start to buy this name ahead of Nvidia earnings, hoping that Nvidia puts up a good number and you get some tailwinds. But for now, I think this is headed to 130. I like the short on SMCI, yes, and on AMD, even though we're up that 1% today. That's the one thing that gives me that pause for concern, right? It always does. I never want to be short a name that is going oppo. And right now the market is down 0.16, AMD up 1%. So for me, it's a potential wait and see on AMD and hopefully be able to catch something on a pop if it is actually stronger than the market. So that's the way I'm going to do it on that name.
Yeah, no, I like that. Bit of a fade off of the earnings that we had on October 29th right there, and a bigger downtrend that it's been in as well. So yeah, just more of the same. This thing has been trending down since its earnings report and a little bit before that as well. And something to note is a bit of a clean kind of a downtrend here that's been happening. This line right here, that's that anchored from earnings that I have put on. And right here, so a bit of a trend resistance over the past few days right here. So been maybe accelerating off of that with lower lows and lower highs. This is a 15-minute chart that spans over multiple days right here. You can see from the beginning of November, we had a bit of a pop that went back through that anchored, now trading well below it. As of right now, some of these lows coming in at 138.75 from prior days. So we've already kind of broken a lot of these, a lot of this potential support here. Maybe some levels here where it tried to hold that anchored once again, but not really happening. And bigger picture trend resistance that I have put on from here, hourly, go down to the hourly. You can see that this downtrend, once that chart loads, has been holding quite well. So a much higher time frame trend resistance that it respected off of that earnings report. And sure, you have a bunch of anchors here as well that we rejected at the same time. So it should be interesting. I think that if I were to take a trade on this, I would wait for it to kind of move up a little bit here into the 140s to see if sellers kind of step back into this name going forward, or maybe even through yesterday's low. That's pretty much a fresh low when it comes to a bit of a multi-month or this month and most of last month's move right there. So some of those prices could be interesting on AMD.
All right, guys, the ES December contract, we closed out at 60.16 yesterday, defending that key 1,000 point level at 6,000. So we'll continue to use that area as support, but we were rejecting consistently off that 60.25 area. So if we reject off there, look for a range between 6,000 to 625. If we take 625, look for that level or 660 and a third to be resistance.
Still a great looking chart. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you jump down to the description of this video. Hit the first link. Top link takes you to the watch list. All you need is your email address. And then we send you everything you need to know in the pre-market every single day for absolutely nothing. It's free. 9.5% right now for Disney to the upside. Just seeing a few comments coming through here on the call. CFO speaking right now, saying the company has modeled incremental growth in content spending outside of the U.S. They're going to cut down on password sharing. Disney Plus, again, just naming off a whole bunch of additional countries coming through as far as password sharing. So just be aware if you're watching Disney, the call is on right now. Still, great report here to the upside we have.
No doubt about it, Brendo. Beating everywhere here. EPS exceeded, revenue exceeded, net income beat. 460 million is what they took home on the quarter. So it was really a story of how well they did at the box office. Inside Out became the highest grossing animated film of all time. Then you had Deadpool and Wolverine, which set a record for the highest grossing R-rated movie ever. But there were some tough signs as well. So the sports segment, ESPN and the like, saw a 6% decline in revenue. Then you also had slower growth in streaming. Disney Plus specifically and Hulu didn't grow nearly as quickly as some of their competitors. And their parks experience, Brendo, continues to suffer internationally. A 32% drop in attendance for their international parks, a 1% revenue increase, though, for that.
Yeah, the initial move downside, I believe, came on some of those data points that came out on this report this morning. So we did actually break 100 there, downside briefly, but here we are testing 112.50. CFO also just saying they're looking to increase pricing on Disney Plus, quote unquote, over time.
And I thought I was going to cancel Disney Plus and did not, and they already increased it one time, so we'll see what winds up happening there for Disney. As we have it written down on our watch list here, the quarter was one of Disney's best from a film production and streaming profitability standpoint. Okay, so right there, that's enough for me. I went and saw Inside Out too. We talked about that on the show many times, how great a movie that was, and we knew that it set all the records as well. I don't think box office is back or anything but like that. And then we also talked about Wolverine and Deadpool yesterday. We talked about that, if you remember. And then that just got launched on Disney Plus as well. So I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be interested in these movies and these films as they come out. Moana 2 is coming out. So if you're not a subscriber now, I feel like Disney's going to get you at some point. I don't like the fact that they're going to be offering up price increases. That's not going to be very good. But we want to play dips back into VWAP. So what we had written down here on our sticky note was basically that exact trade, right? Is that we want to try to trade this name back into, at the time it was 110, but now back into VWAP. We got the double beat, the beat on the EPS, the beat on the rev. So it's a long. So I like the stock. It's one of the best ideas, I think, for today. Right back into here now. Maybe it's 111. I still have a bid at 110.75. VWAP does keep on changing, but at the end of the day, I think we can get into this level, and I want to buy the name. You know, the ultimate, I want to use the 200 period. Well, that's like at 108 now. By the time we finally get open, probably in and around 109 as an area to look for a spot where we're wrong. So I think this has a chance to get up to that 116 area or so, OB. I know that's an area you're looking at as well. So, yeah, I like the risk associated with this name today. I like what we've been doing on earnings. It's moved up more than we thought, and it's doing basically exactly as we had thought. We had predicted this for Disney yesterday. I thought that it was going to be a good beat there, and we're long the name and continue to celebrate that. I just took another piece out right now on BTCT. Again, like it was just bouncing around here a little bit. We just moved to 24.80. I took a 24.50 offer. I'm out of half right now of this name, and my stop still remains the same, $23. So if we break 23, which we almost did, I'm out. So again, long 23.50, giving it 50 cents plus slippage, probably almost $1, let's just say, to the downside, and just took a little bit more than that on the upside. So let's see what winds up happening here. I think it's worth the risk, BTCT, but I do like the Disney trade better than better than BTCT right now. I'll put more risk into Disney than I would into BTCT.
I think that's very fair there, Sean. And yeah, Disney, one of my top ideas as well. Right here, you can see that I've already placed that anchored onto that earnings candle right here, and we've been hovering, holding above it quite well. 110 halves is what I have that anchored as right now. A bit of a pre-market consolidation support at 111s, and that initial kind of pullback comes into 107.60s as well. Looking back at the chart, let's just take a quick look at some of these prior levels here. Sure, we're trading above some of these anchors from May. We talked about those earlier. April as well, some of those tops. But something interesting I do want to note is this high right here. So this high 118 halves, and I'm pretty sure that intraday high is in and around that 116. I have at 116.94 is that prior high area here. A lot of this action kind of done in that pre-market, so it doesn't necessarily show up on a day chart right here. So that 118 half could be interesting as well. This is, I guess, this is the opening range high right here at 111.14s. But interesting prices here. Bit of a consolidation at that 114. So we got a lot of prices to deal with. But I'm going to be watching that anchored VWAP here to give me some direction on the ticker. Where's that 116 that I was talking about? So right, I guess right over here. So yeah, 116, 94, 117s ish right here. So we're kind of breaking past some of these prior highs on this earnings report. So I'm going to be curious to know whether or not we can break some of those levels. Yeah. Okay. So here, sorry, this was the one. So 116.40 I have as the high as this prior earnings prior level. So it was a day before that earnings report, and we got that strong flush on that earnings report. So a bit of a reference price for me. Let's see if we can fill that gap, which we already did mostly in the pre-market, and push towards some of those fresh highs past that $16 level. Looking at anchored VWAP once again coming off of the open. Should be interesting now. It's not really pushing any sort of 52-week highs or all-time highs, but some strength off of earnings. Let's see if we can ride a bit of that pressure.
All right, we'll touch on SMCI. This move downside continues to absolutely just crumble the stock down another 11%, coming on the back of this news that they're not going to be able to make this deadline for this latest financial report. The story continues to unfold here, as you discovered this morning. This is not the first time that we've been through this for SMCI. Before we touch on that, though, this portion of the show brought to you by our friends over at Worksport. Introducing a new discovery on the NASDAQ, Worksport, ticker WKSP. Worksport is a US-based manufacturer and rapidly expanding with growing revenues, government contracts, and innovative green energy products designed to power your life off-grid. Whether you're on the move or seeking sustainable energy solutions, Worksport's got you covered. Now trading on the NASDAQ, WKSP. Discover the future of clean energy with Worksport. Great report, FYI, after the close last night from Worksport. Huge move up for them, so shout out to our friends over there.
Yeah, the great looking tonneau cover there. Let's talk about SMCI, Brendo. An 83% drop from all-time highs that we printed earlier this year, really as a result of declining profit margins, a negative short seller report, the Hindenburg hit piece, their delay in filing that 10K report, and the resignation, obviously, of their accounting firm. Guys, I got to tell you, this one, market experts did note that super micro stock situation resembles its past struggles. It was delisted back in August of 2018 before being relisted in August of 2020. They have to submit a plan to the NASDAQ by tomorrow or Saturday. I'm finding conflicting reports about that. Otherwise, they risk being delisted or further penalties. Now, the delisting here comes with an even bigger financial penalty. They're going to be on the hook for $1.75 billion if they do not pay, or if they do not file that the 10K with the NASDAQ as a result of having to pay out bondholders. $1.75 billion will be due there, so we'll keep an eye out on that.
Active this morning on the volume side of things, trying to hold $18 for SMCI right now. Is there a trade here today, guys?
There's definitely not a trade here today. Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be the best one, to be honest with you. With all this news, we're already in SMCI here. We're already in the money, 15 cents, 20 cents. We're short at 25s. We tried to get more here at 50. We wrote it down here as our number, well, them and Disney are number 1 and 2 plays today. At least the ones I'm going to try to be focusing on early. And I also like New Scale, SMR. We won't get to that on there. We can go find some SMR and some IBIT. We'll talk about Bitcoin next or after Nvidia. All right, so yeah. Yesterday we wrote down 22 bucks and we just missed it. We weren't looking at it. It went to 22.80 yesterday. But today is a different day, right? Now we're near the bottom. This is what it looks like on a clean daily chart. Yeah. Boom. Like, hello, well under these levels. This is why we like the short from a long time. Obi and I have been talking, I mean, I said SMCI short. He's like, man, it's been a swing short for days. And he's been right about that one. There's been a couple bump ups there. They did have that November 5th date where they came out and they were talking a little bit about their earnings and that they're going to get it out. And then now today, they're not going to get it out. They're not going to be able to file apparently on time. So they do risk the delisting, and that's not good. And when you get delisted, especially when you were just added to the S&P 500,
oh boy,
like what's up with that? You know, like what's up with Standard & Poor's? I guess they didn't do enough research into that one. But okay, so anyways, SMCI, nice move to the downside. I was just trying to zoom back out to see where's my break level if I don't have enough short, because we don't have enough short. So I need to get more 1785-ish, I guess, 1780. Here we come. We're coming in right now on SMCI. We're short. I want to get more short. Where am I wrong? I wrote this down on here, 1850. I might just use wherever the 200 period is. Right now it's 1875. I don't have a stop order to get out because I don't think I'm going to be wrong. But when the market opens up, anything can happen. So stop order right now looking like 1875. If we're wrong, let's lose that at that point. But I think this is a day to be celebrated right now. Oh boy, it's happening right now. Let's see if we can get going now. Come on, BTCT. You're the one for me. If we can get a little bit longer here on BTCT, I'm offering 27 bucks right up into this area. Let's see if we can get that. I'm actually at 27.25, 2 more bucks higher on BTCT, and oh boy, it's already $2. Here we go. Those of you that are here for the trade, it's going BTCT now $2. If you're in the club at this time of day, you're doing either pretty good or pretty bad. I don't know. But there it goes. Nice move to the upside here. BTCT, another one. Oh yeah, we have something for that.
Another one.
Another one. I was like, come on, man. You don't want to trade BTCT. But there it goes. Nice move to the upside. $2 again back in the money. I may take another piece out here, but let's wait to see if that 27 can come through. Our stop is 23. Hopefully that hits. Hopefully it doesn't hit, sorry. But if that comes back in, that would be well worth the risk for me. We made a lot of money on this yesterday. Well, we don't have the same risk on it today yet. But I like the trade here, BTCT. Thank you guys for coming here and watching this trade. I still like SM. Wow, there goes SMCI, by the way. Oh boy, are we doing this again today, Obi? It looks like we are. SMCI right now going to the downside. 1787. Oh boy, let's put a bid right there as they're chasing this one, getting down to the downside again. This is not short sell restricted. Is that what that means? SSR, no?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can punch short on this. So get ready to rock and roll now. It's SMCI to the downside.
Oh, I like that. A bit of a continuation, bigger picture downtrend. Yeah, I saw that. I'm looking at it, man. I'm looking at it. 1775 pre-market lows, trading at 95s as of right now. Yeah, a aggressive kind of a downside move there since that fraudulent report that they got. And yeah, poised for delisting. So let's see if this thing can get to zero before they get delisted. I have no idea, but we've been selling off aggressively for the past couple of weeks there. And again, you guys just saw Sean pointing out the bigger picture chart here. This is a weekly on this. Absolutely wild, eh? This thing looks like one of those small cap runners right here. Back to its former glory. You can see that we have this strong consolidation that occurred over almost a whole year on SMCI before it blasted off right here. So what is that? I have about 34 weekly bars right there. So a nice little breakout, that consolidation. We're trading well below that consolidation, and it seems like there is no real support all the way until this $12 mark here. So we're trading at 18s as of right now. Look at that acceleration that came in. And the report came out a couple weeks ago. This thing had broken trend already in earlier March of this year and traded much lower since then. So should be interesting. Bit of a continuation on a bigger, higher time frame trend that's already been happening for months and months, and now we're getting some strong news that is pushing it past some of these prior consolidations that happened for a very long time as well. So it should be interesting. No real support until that $12 mark, it would seem. Some resistance maybe in that 23 area, and what are these lows right here? So if you take a look at those, lows are 2140s right here, and maybe where this strength kind of started to come in off of on May 1st, some of those reference prices, the low day on that is $10, and the high is $14.35. So let's see if we can hit any of those prices coming into today with that fresh catalyst.
All right, let's go on to Nvidia, trying to hold on to 147 right now. We're still stuck in the range of the past couple of days here, or week or so, if you want to use this high, going back to 150. Not a heck of a lot on Nvidia today. There's a number of analysts basically just reaffirming strong stances on the stock. Ended up holding a little bit higher versus the last low there on a technical side of things. I mean, we're positive here for Nvidia to start.
Yeah. Just like you said, Brendo, a lot of people chiming in today about Nvidia. I'm going to cover Oppenheimer and HSBC, but Wedbush and Raymond James were also chiming in. Let's start with Oppenheimer. So their analyst, Rick Schaefer, maintaining the outperform on Nvidia and boosting the price target to 175 from 150. He feels the firm anticipates strong Q3 results and an optimistic Q4 outlook driven mainly, obviously, by consistent demand for AI. He also sees Blackwell as possibly even boosting higher the Q1 revenue of next year. Separately, HSBC analysts raised Nvidia's price significantly from 145 to 200 here. Kind of the same thing, chiming in on the same reasons. AI this, AI that. Good luck for them, Brendo.
Yeah, whether or not this will contribute to the overall sector, we'll see. Remember that ASML CEO comment earlier this morning saying they're expecting chip growth at around 9% going forward.
We actually had it pop up in SMCI, so we're getting some short there. Again, as the Nasdaq's coming back in, so it's weird to see SMCI with that pop. Interesting, we'll see what's going on over there, trying to pay attention to the news. All right, I just didn't write down Nvidia on the sticky note today because I'm tired of doing it. I have the same story every day, and it's price upgrades. We have now 4 straight days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We had all analysts coming out with price target upgrades every single day this week. And what has Nvidia really done this week? Nothing. So, I mean, sure, whoops, okay, scan back too far. All right, so, I mean, it's done stuff, but nothing that's super exciting. It's still stuck in this range. It's not enough for me to get overly excited until we break this 150, or if we come back into 144 again. So again, I like the stock up here. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I'm still long the name. I love the stock, to be honest with you. And if you want to play some dips, I mean, you can grab this 147. But remember yesterday, Nvidia was weak. The market was flat. So I just feel like it's a little bit of a hands-off situation for me today. If we get a 144 or if we get the 146 and the market's holding, then we'll for sure be going long. Anything today that gives me an idea that the market wants to turn, one of the first names I'm going to look at is Nvidia. So again, up 0.6. We talked about the strength in AMD as well, Obi, and that name being up almost 1%, now over 1% today. So if you're going to look long today at some point, which I think you can, it's just let's let it open up. I think you want to go back to the semis. So again, with Nvidia coming on November 20th, I like the stock. My target for Nvidia is 175. So I think we get to that. On earnings, I could see an easy 10% bump on this name. We got to be around that 150 mark. We still have a couple days to go. About a week of trading left in Nvidia. All these price target upgrades are going to be more next week. I like the stock, and I think you got to stay long. It's one of the first spots I'm going to be looking at if and when we get that opportunity. And there's SMCI again. So we layered into it. We're still waiting. You know, we're waiting at 46s. It went to 40 again and stopped. So we layered into this short a little bit. I am bidding now. I'm bidding 14s. So if we get a little bit of a whoosh down there, 14 is not good enough. We're going to bid 04s. Right now I'm going to put a couple more shares down there in the O's. So we'll bid some more O's down there, see if we get a little bit of a play back in. We do have those imbalances coming in a couple minutes at 9:25. So yeah, definitely hit the like, hit the subscribe. That BTCT, just updates on that, nothing. So as it gets a little more exciting here, hopefully we'll get some up halts or something off the open. Hopefully not down halts. We are watching that 23. That's now where the 200 period moving average is, so I'm all good with that if we have to break out down there. So, all right, that's my little look there. As here comes SMCI, let's just see if it gets pushed a little lower.
Yeah, there's only really two prices I'll be looking for on Nvidia. Bit of a held offer we keep talking about at that 150 mark. Haven't quite been able to get past it over the past few days right here. We keep coming into those high 149s, 149.90s, and we keep rejecting sometimes off of that 148 and change as well. So we are kind of making those higher lows overall on a bigger picture. Let's see if we can catch a bit of a bid, but that 150 is going to be interesting. And another level right here, just from prior day, you can see a bit of a double bottom. So maybe you get that strong flush. These are 30-minute candles here. So a little bit of a strong flush that picks right back up off of 146, and you can see that that buying coming in once again off of the close. And interestingly enough, on Tuesday, you can see the opening range low at those same prices. So a bit of a triple test just in the past 2 days of this 146 level. Should be interesting. We're trading at 147s. 149 at 67 is the high from this week. Pre-market highs coming in at 149.95. So if we are to trend to the upside now, for sure I'll be looking for market tailwind. If I want to see some support here and some breakthrough of this 150 price, that 150 is definitely going to be juicy if and when it does come in all-time highs on Nvidia past that level.
All right, let's go on to crypto once again. Seeing a bit of a pullback right now, actually, not only in BTC, but across the board. I just brought up Coinbase here, still positive on the morning, 1.8%, but you can see we're coming off a little bit. There was a headline on Mara I saw this morning, didn't really move on that. This one got absolutely crushed yesterday after testing those highs once again. So I think you had to kind of pick and choose your spots. That move to the upside might be on pause for the next couple of days here. We'll see what happens with Bitcoin.
Yeah, look, it's still, I don't know. I think the run is still on. We'll keep watching. Obviously, the move after the election's been really pumping up here, exceeding now $3 trillion. Exactly $3.2 trillion is the global market for cryptocurrencies, surpassing the highs that we put back in 2021 when it was running up. Bitcoin, as you mentioned, Brendo, 93,480 all-time highs since the November 5th election, up 30%.
Say that again, 30%.
30%. It's not a small amount. And just to give, I started this, I mentioned it at the top of the show, gold value, global gold value, 19 trillion, Brendo. The S&P 500, the market cap, 50.6. So we're still relatively small here compared to them.
Yeah, and more to come, obviously. It's not, I don't think it's a matter of if, it's when at this point. We're going to see 100,000 for BTC. Here's BTCT. Up 40.5% on the morning. Again, this one on the low float side of things. Just keep in mind, 2.5 million shares.
On that Bitcoin again, off of that 75 break, we kind of talk about that 70 area breakout. We've got that leg that keeps pushing up, and yeah, no, I 100% agree with Brendo, and it's been like that for a while. That 100K has never been about if, it's always been about that when. In terms of the price action on Bitcoin. If you just look at the larger picture on this one, it's just an expanding range with an uptrend there as we push higher and higher over the years. So yeah, 91.2s trading right now, 93 halves, just shy of 93 halves is the all-time highs there on Bitcoin. And yeah, there's a lot of vehicles that you can be kind of using to exercise your long and short ideas there. IBIT being one of the best ones in my opinion, kind of following that Bitcoin move to the T. Now, we talked about this yesterday. If Bitcoin's kind of trending up, and you're looking for that bid on tickers like MSTR or Mara or Riot, you might not get that right away or at all. Dude. As again, these tickers, sure, they're related to Bitcoin. Maybe they hold Bitcoin. Maybe they're exchanges. Maybe they're miners. But again, it's a different kind of idea than an actual Bitcoin trust like IBIT, right, which follows the price action of Bitcoin a lot closer. So a lot of vehicles to kind of exercise those ideas. Mara as well. Mara yesterday was earnings day one, and we pretty much sold off all day after kind of grabbing that earnings reaction high right off of the open. So closed near the day lows, trading at 22 halves as of right now. So let's see what that one will bring. Riot as well, looking very similar, trading much lower as well. I know people like to trade CLSK, Clean Spark as well. So a lot of different kind of vehicles to potentially exercise your Bitcoin ideas. I see that you are printing.
All right, yeah, SMCI, huge move to the downside, guys. We're doing it again and again and again and again. There goes SMCI, nice move. We just got filled at 80s down there on the reload. Once in there again. Okay, we're reloaded. All right, we're also in SMR. SMR takes out that high. And oh boy, Obi, we're up another 6.5% here on New Scale. We're into that one. It breaks that high. We're in it. It only goes up to 80. Let's see where we can fly now. Again, a break back down below this 25.80, and I think we're going to get out of New Scale. So let's put that in right now, 25.79. We do have the bell in just 20 seconds, so we're going to get ready to go for that one. All right, SMR ready to go. All right, that's it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We did not get to Chinese weakness. I like BTCT. We're $1 in the money there. We're 25 cents in the money, 30 cents in the money on SMCI, and a brand new position on SMR. Thank you once again for watching. We got Disney on our minds as well. Countdown is now activated. So here we go. Let's ring this bell, and we got mention brought to you by Worksport. Check out their earnings last night. WKSP on the NASDAQ. It's Worksport, baby. All right, let's go. We're open now. We just got long on Disney as well. So we're just going to get our order in now to stop out of SMR. If there's any problems, we'll get out of that one. So that's good to go. We are now long Disney. We get that dip buy early on Disney. SMCI trying to battle it back a little bit. Let me take something out at 18 if we can one more time, and then we'll wait to see what happens with SMCI. So far just in Disney, brand new position for me. Disney, BTCT, we're in half of that, but that's rolling around right now. 23.50 long on BTCT, SMR, SMCI. There's Disney. Disney's $1 in the money already right now on that play. So let's see what we can do now on Disney. $1 in the money. I meant $2 in the money. We are nice move up there for Disney. Wow. Oh, do you look at that? Disney, nice move to the downside right now. $2 in the money, as we told you, 10.75. I mean, that was a level that we liked. So right now we'll get some more pieces out, and oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. It's been a good one so far, but let's not rest on our laurels as we'll wait to see if we can get some more money out of this market right now. Out a little bit of Disney. We'll see if we can get a little bit more and climb to the highs. I think Disney takes out day's high. We just went bottom to top right there on Disney. Again, Sharif, as quick as you like. Right there, a 111, 110.75, all the way down to up to 113. There we go again, baby. It's SMCI world, and we're all living in it. SMCI going back up to the upside right now. But good trading so far. Watch out for SMCI. 18. We don't want to hold it too much past this. I got to get my stop order in for SMCI.
Yeah, no, I'm watching Lunar here as well. Lunar and Disney. That Disney came in quite nice. Off of that 110. I didn't get a piece of that one right there. It's pushing for those pre-market highs, sitting at 13.89 right now. We're pushing those highs as of right now, 13.89 as that comes in. So let's see how well that can push some of those pre-market highs. So I'm watching that 13 halves trading right now, 14 halves on Lunar as well. SMCI is still trading above that 18 mark right now, 1830s, 1840s. So again, I'm going to be a little bit more patient here today. Okay, so there goes those pre-market highs on Disney as that 114 gets taken out as of right now. So, oh boy, that dip down into 110 halves was quite nice, and definitely missed out on that one there as Disney continues to the upside. 114's incoming. So will we see that 115 going forward today? It seems like it, Sean, as that buying pressure is coming in quite aggressively as of right now.
Shit.
What is
we are
going
$4 in the money. We are $4 right now. Good call on that one, Obi, as we both indicated. So we lose on SMCI. It's like we lose on one of our plays and make on the other. So let's go overall. But there goes SMCI. It just took out that high. So we are completely wrong on that one for sure. But SMR. Oh my, again, Obi. We are really starting to elevate our trading game over the last little while. I hope a lot of you are as well, joining the club of profits. But look at SMR. Huge move to the upside. We're really doing something special here. Okay, we got to get something out on Disney as well, because that move continuously going a little bit higher. But we don't want to, again, we got to make sure that we get some out. So there's another. Oh, we got SMR. We did not get Disney. All right, SMR is still ripping. We're going to have to get some more out here on Disney. Look at this, little bit of a pullback. 114, good area. We talked about 116 maybe as being the top. So SMR was what we just got filled on, not Disney. There goes SMR. It's starting to get going really good now to the upside. So SMCI, I feel like 19 maybe there. We just held 1880. I like the stock still for a short. I'm going to go back into it right now.
Yeah, no, that Disney kind of pulling back in, breaking back below that pre-market high 13. What was it? 13 and some change, just underneath that 14. So aggressive kind of pull back in. I did not really like that, but let's see if that can potentially come back in. I did get a little bit short there, but that bid's coming right back in, Sean. Oh boy. So that dip was bought. And okay, so that's fine. We get stopped out as it pulls back up above that 114 mark.
Oh, you were going short?
I got short real quick because it was like back through that 14. I wanted the long through 14, but again, if it's going to wipe back down like that, I'm like, all right, well, I might exercise a bit of that short idea, but seems like that. Okay, all right, that is some volatility right there. So I do want to get right back into that one. And
do you like when it trades like sort of that wild, like that off the jump?
Not really always, but again, if it's gonna do some like trappy action like that, I do want to get involved. I like that. It's a little uncomfortable at times, but again, I think those are some of the best opportunities when you're feeling a little uncomfortable 100%. For the trade for
100%. Yeah, it's like you don't get comfortable until you feel what uncomfortable is like, right? And I think that's very important. I mean, you cannot. That's why we talk about getting into the right amount of size that you're comfortable with as a trader, not necessarily the other way around, right? It's like, don't worry about what we're doing over here. You know, trade your book at all times. That's by far the best advice that I can give to anybody. All right, Disney right now. I'm still in this. I'm going to sort of listen to myself a little bit here, take a little bit of profit on this play. I'm still waiting for 114 high side near to that 115. If we can get back up there, we do have an offer there. We will wait for that one. SMR, we just got filled up there at 42s. That was a good play. We are back into SMCI right now. So this could be a play, again, that yes, a little bit nervous about it, but we took the short. We got some out there at 40s. VWAP is at 25. So I'm going to put a bid now at, let's put it at 35s or so. See if we can get it drip down into that level one more time and catch a bid on SMCI. I mean, I don't know why it's catching a bid, but we'll see. Sorry, we'll catch a bid down there, but we need to catch an offer to come into this market. I'm getting stopped out at $19. I'm just going to use an even $19 area, like an option area that traders might be talking about. That right there, there's the break, 1901, 1902. We've been up there before. If it breaks those levels, I'm out. Now that I see that, I am actually going to be that specific. I'm going to go to 1906 for a stop. There's lots of liquidity here. It's not a situation where, hey, if I don't stop out at this price, I'm going to miss it by $1 or anything like that. So I'm just going to up my bid a little bit there to get out if we break that. See, that's 1902 as the top. Let's just give it to 1906. Like, it's not going to do anything to our net, that 4 or 5 cents, but it might save us on a wipe like that. But again, remember, that's a dark pool print at 8 o'clock. So I'm not holding too much weight to that. All right, SMCI right now. Hey, look, man, we're 15 cents in the money. Take it if you want. I'm also bidding 30s into 20s and then lower than that. I think SMCI goes lower. Disney, we do get that fill at 114. We talked about that. And SMR pulling back just a little bit. We've taken out exactly half of our position on SMR. No idea where this is going to go. Our stop is 25.80 with trying to buy a little bit more, a little bit lower into here, 26.40s or so. If we're able to get that bid, we'll take that.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of just going to be patient for some of these highs potentially to come in right there. 114.80s are the highs there on Disney. We're trading kind of choppy underneath that level as of right now. We kind of held that anchored off of the open there, pulled back into it. Let's see if we can get some higher lows or lower highs. I don't know just yet. We've just opened. It's only been about 7.5 minutes. Also, LUNR is halted to the downside, so that one was pretty crazy there. I was looking for that one for a bit of continuation play, and I was like, yeah, no, it doesn't really look that great. And oh boy, I look back at it, and it is halted to the downside. So absolutely crazy there. Some continuation to the downside as well on some of these earnings day 2 names as well. You can see that, I guess, where did that go? Rocket Labs continuing to push to the downside here. Kava continuing to push to the downside. Again, we talked about Kava being super, I guess, weak to the downside there. Yeah, a little tasty if you're short bias there on Kava, and then we're getting that continuation to the downside here on once again on Kava. So let's pull that up and take a look at that one there. So short the pops apparently is going to be the potential trade on this one. Look at that strong push, closes near low of day. and 142.67 is trading right now. Oh no, you got a new position there, Sean? Or?
No. SMCI right now, Tank City right now. It's a chicken dinner winner. As SMCI reload comes right back into the 50 period, moving average on SMCI. So we're taking a little bit more out. I am bidding some 12s. I don't know why we put 12, but let's see if we get down low now for 40-cent winner on SMCI as we go positive back on the name now. I mean, I apologize. We did get stopped out. I don't know why. I mean, we initially talked about that level. We got that stop out, but we still liked it. We put that risk back on right now, and there goes SMCI. Again, top idea for me. We're at the high of the days right now. I'm going to take out another offer here at 114 on Disney, and then keep that order up at 114.50. Actually, just going to readjust it because I want to have some more shares if we get up to that upside. So, all right, here it comes in. Another win there on Disney. We'll see if we can get some more out, but so far so good here. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye here on AG Eagle Aerial Systems. The company here, the ticker is going to be UAVS. So UAVS here sharply to the upside, up about 140%. 54 million shares traded so far today, 19 million shares in this 15-minute candle. Basically, the company here announcing it's got some new drone orders, but what's really important to note here for UAVS is going to be the float. You have a 181,000 share float. 55% of it's going to be sold short. So small float, large short float percentage, and a market cap of $3.31 million for UAVS, guys.
So there for them. You had mentioned that stock. Why was that on your earnings?
No, it's just on one of my morning scans, doing some relative volume.
Wow,
again,
SMCI,
it's a past runner as well. They're in the drone business, and we know that a lot of these shipping companies and mailing companies like Amazon are starting to get like approvals for different aerial systems and using drones to do their deliveries as well. So that's why I kind of have it on watch. But this morning, it was definitely moving around in the pre-market. That's why I kind of mentioned it earlier there. Lunar almost poised to open soon, as the time is 41. It halted at 9:36.18. So LUNR potential opening soon enough right there. Halted down at $12.54 pennies there, and the tap is hitting, I guess, 28. Here it is, open once again, so trading much lower, 1220s on LUNR. So yeah, going to continue watching that one there. Not really doing what I was looking for right off of the bat. So again, got to pack my patience if I do want to continue or look for a continued trade on that one. Yes, Sharif, I am trying to pack it as best as I can here. Coming right back into that anchored VWAP is Disney. Let's see if that anchored VWAP holds as support. I have that at 112.25. We're trading at 112.90s as of right now here on Disney. So we'll continue to watch this one, see if that one works out. I took a couple stabs at it, didn't really work out right away, and just waiting for it to kind of consolidate and do its thing right now. If it makes higher lows and continues to push into the highs, that's perfectly fine. The trade is over, and we were definitely wrong on that one. Market, though, to the downside, you can see the ES and the NQ. This first 15-minute bar is quite aggressive to the downside. So market definitely selling off a little bit here off of the open, Sean. Yeah,
we're experiencing that in SMR. We did have a huge win on SMCI. We got back into the market low again. Remember we were talking about 1780 as being a key level? So that just came in again. So boom, okay, there. I was gonna say, so we're still up on BTCT. Thankfully, we got out basically for flat. We got a great fill there. We got 23, actually just as 23. So for some reason, we got 23.17s. So that wasn't too bad. Remember, our stop was going to be around that 23.25 area, right into there. So we get a pretty good stop out as BTCT comes back in. We tried it, just not as good as it was the day before, obviously. SMR, good out there, but we did average it in on the 50-period moving average. I was trying to hold it through 26. Breaks 26, we're out. Not a great fill on that one. Actually, 25.80 was our spot, and that was in the pre-market. So, look, I'm not... This is what we do here. First of all, if you have fruit salad like my guy Obi does, it's always fruit salad time. So shout out to fruit salad. But we are going to be well up today. We're not up as much as we were yesterday, but that's because of SMCI and Disney, which guess what? The top two names on the sticky note right here today are the only two names that I'm able to make some money on so far. Well, BTCT we did, but that was more of a fun play right there. So, all right, Disney, good look out there. We got some more out. We just got another 114 fill. We talked about that. It is bouncing off 112. We said we like VWAP, but boy, oh boy, do I like 110 a lot better than that. SMCI, let's go. I'm going to put another bid down here. Let's go to 1790 right now, and then I'll put, let's go lower. Let's go 1775 for the next one. So a 1790, a 1775 SMCI. Let's continue to print, please, and thank you. What's up? There. Oh boy, oh boy. All you got to do is put the bid in there, and then the money comes flying in there. But okay, that only happens if you're the right way. Don't just put bids in there and expect to see your account starting to blow up over there. But okay, what's up, Adara?
We have TPR here, Tapestry to the upside, up about 10% here. Nice push off the open. Yesterday, they announced that they're calling off their attempts to merge with Capri or to acquire Capri. This basically had some FTC issues, and in late October, there was a court ruling basically saying that this acquisition could not go through, so the deal's been officially called off. Tapestry also announcing here a $2 billion share repurchase program. The other side of this trade, Capri or CPRI, they were gapping down, but they actually popped nicely off open, still down about 3%, guys.
Okay. We were just talking about SMCI. Now it's going to hit all of our levels. So, all right, Obi, I talk way too much. What do you got going on over there?
No, I'm just kind of just staring this tape down here on Disney. There, so far I guess we've almost broken that pre-market high as of right now.
Wow.
Making some lower highs and higher lows above this VWAP above anchored. So we're holding up quite nicely, but a bit of a support and resistance area that we're just chopping in and around that I have marked on my chart here in and around this 1330 to the 13.5 area. So I'm going to continue watching that one. SMCI, great trade on that one, Sean.
Thank you, man.
As that one continues to fade to the downside here. I guess I got to pull that up on this ticker, this chart over here. I was watching Kava as well. Kava continuing to the downside here. SMCI is on watch as well. And Rocket Labs, we saw what happened in and around that $20 level yesterday. We're trading at 18s as of right now. So Rocket Labs also bit of a continuation fade after it gave back pretty much everything that it did on the day yesterday. So those are some of the watches that I have lined up. But you can see that the futures are pretty much tanking to the downside as well. 6,000 coming in on the ES. Are we going to bounce off of 6,000 on the ES? I have no idea, man. But a lot of weakness, I guess, across the board on some of these names. Apple, though, Apple to the upside, Softy to the upside. Things that are selling off, Alphabet, Amazon, maybe a little bit of Tesla. Tesla's kind of sideways, doing not too much.
Something called SMCI
Nvidia,
selling off.
Nvidia, oh yeah, SMCI is also selling off, right, Sean?
Yeah, SMCI is a huge sell-off right now. We're $1 now in the money on SMCI. Like, what are we even doing here? Welcome to the show, everybody. I mean, I know what we're doing. We are just following our damn plan every single day on the show. We wrote down SMCI again. Like, I'm not... Again, we talk about this, like trying to be honest and humble and excited at the same time. And it's tough to do that. But honestly, like this is 18 to 1850 short. Like this is what we wrote down. Disney 110 long. Like, so let's just look at the positions that we have. You can see at the bottom of the board right there. SMCI. What up, Nas? As it was written. Disney 110.75 right now. Disney $3. So right now we're combined $5 or $4 now almost. $3.50, $3.75 in the money right now on all of these positions. So, I mean, it's obviously been a pretty good day over there. We've got Obi with the shorted Disney as well. You know, really cracking that down for $1 in the money now on that short. So, yeah, man, look at SMCI. No file, lots of problems. You know, they've got 99 problems, and filing definitely for these guys is one. And there it goes to the downside. Wow, are we cracking right now on SMCI? Oh, boy, man. Put it up in the chat if you guys have this. Thank you so much for watching. At Trader TV, Sean is where you're going to find that sticky note. Get the watch list as well daily. That's in our link in our description. We're doing it every single day, man. We miss Neil here, but we love having Obi. It's been a great day. Great week here as well. Yeah, what's up, Neil? Going through right there, but we're putting on the bangers, man. Regardless of who's in these here seats. 1745. What's up, Derek?
XTIA is the ticker for this one, XTI Aerospace. No catalyst for it today, but yesterday here it announced the appointment here of Javier de la Peña to its board. This is someone who works in an executive capacity at Toyota. So Toyota employee now joining the board here of XTIA. This is a penny stock here, currently trading around 8 cents per share. So very small amount here for pricing. They do have a market cap of $3.12 million, also in the small cap space. GXAI moving around quite a lot this morning, guys.
All right, thank you. Oh boy, man, this SMCI continues to tank. Again, borrowed shares, not really getting involved with it just yet, but I know Sean definitely is involved with it. 18 to 61, dude. Nice entry there.
Yeah, man.
As it continues to tank, I'm looking for pops to kind of get involved, and there has been no pop as it continues to sell
I got
off.
stopped out.
Yeah. I mean,
that was so. There was one pop.
Yeah.
But again, that was pretty early.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. There hasn't been a pop since then.
Do we want to talk about that a little bit? Like, are you comfortable? Okay. Oh boy, we're starting to do some damage now as Disney goes right back up. And we got into that. So like both of these positions, like Disney was real early because we got in right off the bell. We had liked this level. We knew that we liked Disney today, so that was an early trade. Let's talk about that a little bit because SMCI we have the right way. It's just it took a minute for it to get going. It had to see the buyers. A nice little buy candle right there off open. What do you feel about that? Are you comfortable taking like a full position within the first couple minutes if the price action is there? Or would you rather have it settle down, then start to take a more serious look, maybe 10 or 15 minutes in?
What I'm trying to get better at, Sean, is being able to take that size on that initial push there right off of the open, if that'll give it to me. And Disney was definitely there off of that 110.5 area. That's what I was looking at. And then pretty much, I guess I kind of missed it there as it pushed back up towards those pre-market highs. And it's coming right back, right back into this consolidation. I'm seeing it right here, so we can pull it up and talk about it. So opening range high is sitting at that 1480. We're trading at 1360s as of right now. Bit of a consolidation. A lot of inside bars happening here. As the market picks back up, we are catching a bit of a bid. The market's reverting back up. So that 6,000 on the ES, oh boy, was that definitely a level. We're getting a strong little bounce off of that, about a 12-point bounce, trading above 6,010s now on the ES. SMCI, okay, is this the bounce I'm looking for on SMCI, Sean? Because again,
a little bit of one for sure.
It's a little bit of a bounce here, but I'm looking for that continuation, man. So short the pops, but where are the pops going to stop is the real question here. Wow, Rocket Labs trading below that 18. I got to keep an eye on that one as well. Definitely want to stay involved with this ticker. Good, decent idea from yesterday that, again, it showed some interesting price action in and around that $20 level. And we are about to trade below prior day's lows here, sitting at 1761. We're trading at 1782 here on Rocket Labs. So those are the things I have on watch. SP Williams with the super chat. Sean, you called SMCI at 2047 short yesterday. Yes, you did. Bit of a continuation trade today, though.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the acknowledgement on that one. But yeah, we also called it at $22 yesterday as well, off the off the open as well. But you know what? I mean, at the end of the day, so this is the trade that you're talking about there, and thank you for bringing it up because we had marked this down right there. No, it was 2060 was the actual. It was just a break right there, and we actually canceled this trade with about 20 minutes left because I just didn't want to be part of the last drive because we have the market on close and balances, and I didn't realize obviously this was going to happen. We did talk about that, so thank you for bringing that up. And then we also like that $22 level from early yesterday, but here's the call today. Like, again, credit where credit is due, and thank you for giving it, but at the same time, it's like, these are just trades, and we put these on every day, all over the place. And for me, I come to work every day looking for opportunities, trying to have a good time here as well, and making sure that, the ideas that I'm giving at least are ones that I'm willing to roll with. And yeah, so it's been a long time. I mean, if you guys are watching the show, thank you for doing that, obviously. And the second part that I want to get at is, you know, I've been sitting here and there's been days where I've been blown out, like blown the you know what out actually, and not that bad, but blown out when some of the ideas didn't work. Right now, the ideas are working and we're feeling it right now. So far so good here, and you have to believe in it because for every time there's a bad day, a good day, there's a bad day, and so on and so forth. So if you do not capitalize on these kind of days and sort of make that money when the money's there to be made, then you're going to miss out. So that's sort of what I'm trying to do here. Find the right plays, find areas of concern in stocks, and then just play them the best that I possibly can. And I'm just glad that everybody's here with us doing it as well. So you're still in that short Disney. I'm in the long Disney. Just goes to show you that this is what trading's all about. Different ideas. We definitely love having Obi here. Killed it on Rocket Lab yesterday, and we're doing it again here today all over the place. So what's up, Adara?
WYNN is up here sharply to the upside of about 7%. Could not find a catalyst on this. Nice volume here. This is the 15-minute chart. We do have a short float of about 6%, but keep an eye on here, WYNN, and maybe some of these other resort and hotel-related names as well, guys.
The name that we had sold recently as well on the China Pop, and we are able to get out of that one and Alibaba. So, I mean, I still like the name there, Win. Just a little bit of a risk, I feel like, on that one as we wait to see where we're going in with the Chinese stimulus. Wayne and I actually talked about that yesterday, you know, liking some of these plays because the fact that they have been so beat up. They're Disney, again, you know, good play there, could get some push through on travel and China as well. So Disney could be a play there. SMCI trying to bounce around. Just a quick look, LVS was the name that I was talking about this again. Wayne and Mateo and I stayed back and we were talking about it yesterday. I didn't realize that LVS was holding up actually not that bad. It's still above the 50-period moving average. So I think for a casino name right now, as opposed, and Wynn's getting the pop now. Thank you, Adara, for that story. But Wynn had been getting come on, chart. So now we're at the 50 period, but you know, last night when we were talking about this, well underneath it. So I still think LVS for the strength, but definitely a nice little story here for Wynn, up 7% right now. So, all right, man, Disney's still working out, SMCI still working out, SMR shaking my rear, does not go up. So we did have a great play early. We averaged in on it, got out right there. Come on, nuclear, do something. That would be nice. So that's the other play that we have on there. Tesla 330. Let's have a quick look at TSLA right now as we have it. All right, so whoa. We also wrote down that we potentially needed to punch. What? This is, why do I not have an offer up here? Guys, I might need a timeout. Like, as if I was a child, which pretty much I'm acting like that now. What did we write down here? Tesla 330? Short sell? What? Why? The high of the day on Tesla, unless I'm seeing something, which could be, is 330.02. Right there, $8 in the money. Obi, please take it over.
Yeah, man. No, that's unfortunate on that one, but you know,
like
Tesla
I
to the downside.
thought I had an offer.
You had an offer out. Yeah. No, I know you like to kind of come in and put some orders out right off of the open. So yeah, definitely.
Probably because I didn't think it was going to get there, to be honest with you.
Okay. All right. But yeah, no. You know what?
Sean,
what's the next trade?
Oh,
there's going to be so many opportunities.
Just
yeah.
You hate to miss because
you hate to miss the ones that you actually planned for.
You and I talked about that. It's like there's only so many, and I just said, like, you know, where do you put the risk? What are you doing? This and that. Like sometimes these trades will fall into your lap, and you know, I took $28 the other day on Tesla. We took $6 or $7 yesterday. So we're well capable of holding that trade for that $7 or $8. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We'll move on and hopefully not cry over too much spilled milk. BTCT down to $19 now. Not good, man. That's why you fly out there. The 200 period moving average never fails, I think, anyways, on some of these momentum plays. So I like that play there for BTCT, getting out of it anyways.
Yeah, so a bit of a pop coming back here on SMCI. So we did trade back up to 17s. This is VWAP area as of right now. So let's see if selling kind of comes in. If the trend is real, where can that sell potentially catch? And I think VWAP's a great place to kind of look for those participants as a lot of people kind of converge at that VWAP area here. So SMCI 18s are that VWAP right now. Let's see if that 18s can potentially come in. 1802, so some size on the ask right here. So you know what? I'm going to pull up SMCI on the on the tape here, and I guess Disney as well, so we can look at them together. I don't know why these books don't really update along with the other ones there. But yeah, 1801s had some size earlier on the ask, and that got taken out. But we're trading a little bit lower here. So I guess if this is in and around VWAP right here. So you know what? I'm gonna take a quick stab at it and see if this will have me here on SMCI. So I did kind of borrow those shares. We are SSR apparently, Sean. So gotta keep an eye on that one. SMCI, are we SSR? I don't know. It says SSR.
Yeah, we are today. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, cool. That makes sense. All right, so Disney coming right back into that VWAP area. 112.20s I have as that VWAP. So we're coming right back into that VWAP as of right now. So I did get involved a little aggressively on those lower highs. Let's see if we can crack that anchored VWAP, as again, not necessarily filling the criteria for a lot of other things that may have been holding their anchored VWAP off of earnings. So that keeps me a little slightly skeptical on that anchored, but we did have the trade off of anchored right off of open, so I might be getting a little bit of FOMO on that push right there. So 112.13s, 112.25s is that VWAP and that anchored right now. We're trading right there, guys. So you can see that bid is sitting right here at that 112.20. So let's see if we can catch a bit of a bid here. Do buyers step right back in? Do we close the candle above this level here, or do we continue for a further push down? Downside? Those are the questions that I'm asking. Opening range low sitting at 110.25s here, trading about 2 points away from that. But this is that VWAP area. Going to be some participants here before we make another move, either to the upside or the downside. I have no idea, Sean, but we're catching a little bit of a sell back below this $12 mark right here. SMCI holding that 18 right now, so I guess that one's working out quite well as of right now. Don't necessarily have everything on this, everything as much as I would like. But I think that you definitely had some of the best prices there on SMCI, being up in the 18 and 60s. Oh boy, man. Yeah, so I just reloaded there at 1803s, and we got a 90 there as well. So we just dipped down. We just took a little bit more profit on that one. Definitely not being overly conservative with it, but just, you know, I'm not going to reload this name until we get back up here into 1860s. So if this rips up, we don't have too much exposure on it anymore, but there it goes. I'm surprised I didn't. So we're lucky that we got the reload there on SMCI, because I probably would have punched a little more short there at 1780 if we didn't have it, and that would have been incorrect. So here comes. All right, here comes back in a little bit now. I'll take another bid. So I am going to be bidding something at mid 80s, so 85. You know, I'm going to put a bid right now, take an 88 fill. There it goes. Nice fill. Let's go. Good little reload right there. Okay, we are reloaded. We reloaded that stock, this stock above 18. Let's see if it wants to fall back in again. Getting nervous there. You just talked about Disney, so I don't want to like literally beat a dead horse here about it, but we did take another piece out right now, as we've noticed, trying to break that VWAP. So we'll take a piece out there, as that's been a very, very key indicator for us in that time. SMR does make a move down. It's not really on my radar now anymore. It should have been, though, because look at that 200 period right there came into play at 24.75. We've really ignored Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin is tanking right now. And I say tanking like as if it's tanking. But we had written down 1550 here on IBIT. Sorry, 5050 for IBIT. We're right down here again. So I think I'm going to test a little bit of a long here in IBIT, just on a little bit of Bitcoin weakness right now. We'll buy this dip. We'll buy a little bit more in and around 30s and see if it can hold this marker right back into here, 50 bucks, with Bitcoin at 88 and change. I guess it's worth looking at the underlying here as we continue to trade IBIT. Long right now at 36. Put an offer up here at 45s, 46s, then a little bit higher than that, and see if we can't get going back there to the upside. There it goes. Yes, sir. Oh, my. What exactly are we doing right now? Wow, IBIT. All right. Bang. Huge trade again there. IBIT working out back to the upside. A 30-cent winner on IBIT. Just in front of 30 cents. Here we go. 30 more cents. Trying to go upside right now on IBIT. There we go, man. Oh, boy, are we having a good time here today. That is for sure. Nice trade on Disney as that's pulling back in there as well. IBIT screaming to the upside. We're long on that name. Good trade there on Bitcoin. Glad that we, again, had written this down on the sticky note and put our attention over there, not like Tesla. All right, offer here at 65. Get out some more on IBIT. What's up, Adara?
The market certainly is not up here. We have the Qs basically at the bottom of this range we've been chopping around on the 15-minute chart here, bouncing as of right now around that 510 level, currently at about 510.75. Let's see what we do from here on this market. Lots of differentiating performances here from the Mag 7 names. Of course, Nvidia here is on watch ahead of its earnings report next week, getting some more analyst notes there. We also have comments from Fed speakers throughout the day. Fed's Barkin actually saying the next 10 years could be more inflationary, and these tariffs specifically could be a little bit of a concern due to some cost pressures they could cause. Of course, referring to the tariffs that Donald Trump here, president-elect, has been proposing. We got PPI this morning as well. For except month-over-month number flat, but all of the other prints here for PPIs, 0.1% above estimate, so slightly other than expected inflation print. Tapestry here up about 11%, calling off officially its deal with Capri due to some legal issues, including an FTC blockage. Then we have as well the company announcing a $2 billion buyback program. AMD here, speaking of Nvidia and the chip names, nice bounce here. Yesterday, Reuters reporting that the company is looking to cut 4% of its workforce. And then last but not least, we have CSCO, Cisco. They reported earnings yesterday. Down in the day, they beat on EPS and sales, but the lower end of their revenue guidance, missing estimates just a bit, guys. And we are brought to you by Firefly Neuroscience. Firefly Neuroscience has taken a bold step in advancing brain health technology. In collaboration with Bright Minds Biosciences, Firefly's innovative AI-powered platform has successfully analyzed data from a groundbreaking phase 1 clinical trial using advanced EEG technology to track brain activity. This data unlocks new potential in treating neurological and mental disorders, reinforcing Firefly's position at the forefront of brain health innovation. As they prepare for phase 2, this partnership signals exciting developments for the future of neuropsychiatric treatments. Firefly Neuroscience, shaping the future of brain health.
Sarah, for that one. 111 halves, Sean. So we were kind of talking about why I like the short, and I did miss the long right off of the open, and Sean had that trade, off of that 110s. We're looking for that anchor to hold quite well. 110 halves comes in aggressively right off of the open, and I'm like, oh boy, I missed the trade. I don't want to chase 112s. I don't want to chase 113s. And it actually goes through pre-market highs, and I'm like, all right, pre-market high break. That's a trade within itself. So let me take that. Take a little bit of an, I guess maybe not too aggressive, but a little more aggressive than I'd like. Risk through that pre-market highs doesn't work twice, and I'm like, all right, well, if you're gonna lick grab those pre-market highs as well as I guess it is reaction high from the pre-market. If you're gonna lick grab those, then I kind of want to, I guess, pack my patience and be a little bit more nimble with that and get short on the false break of the pre-market high. And we had a bit of chop consolidation, but I was risking to that pre-market high because, again, I told Sean, I was like, well, you see that wipe that came in off of that 114, failure to follow through that. Okay, so pre-market highs here were, if I can pull this chart, 113.89s, right? So just shy of that 114. That aggressive bid comes in off of that anchored, off of that VWAP, whatever you want to use, 10 halves, pre-market levels as well, sitting at that 110. So we get that aggressive bid, and all of a sudden that bid gets slapped down almost 30 pennies, 30, 40 pennies right there off of the high at 114.80s. We can't even get to 115. So not only is that a failure to follow through of pre-market highs, in my opinion, that's also a failure to follow through that 115 mark as well. Can't really get through, can't really get anywhere close, and that's where selling comes in, and we start to make lower highs. Yeah, I wanna look short for the push back through that anchored or that VWAP as of right now. So we're catching a bit of a base here, so I do want to stay a little wary on that. 111.76 is trading right now, trending. I guess it's not really trending. A little bit of sideways chop. We're still trading within the opening range right here on Disney. So I'm looking for that opening range low to break through that 110 half level right here. Again, we can see what happens when some of these earnings day one names give up some of their pre-market and their intraday levels. I think Kava is a great example of that from yesterday. Like very, very strong off of the earnings report, but then come in on the day, it's not really strong at all. It pretty much gives back everything. Not only that, it pretty much it breaks through those pre-market lows, breaks through the day's opening range low, and continues to fade and give back all of that move coming in today and kind of grabbing that earnings reaction low once again. Catching a bit of a bid here on Kava off of that 141.70 167 day low, 147. So, oh boy, that reversion came in real hot on Kava here as it bids up to the upside quite aggressively. So I guess that selling is done for now on Kava group right there. So let's continue to watch Disney here. Yep. Market's getting a bit of a bid here. So we did, like I said before, we bounced quite nicely off of that 6,000 clean on the ES there, and then the NQ as well, kind of bouncing in and around the area of that 21,050, 21,060 area here on the Nasdaq. So going to continue watching some of these names. We're consolidating now underneath this VWAP here on Disney. So stay watching that. Rocket Labs also to the downside, 17 halves, man. Oh boy, that 20 short yesterday was very, very telling. That consolidation is so telling. What's up, Adara?
Nice pop here for Zim Integrated Shippings, up about 10%. 12.85% short float for ZIM. I'm not seeing any catalyst on this name, but nice volume here in the 15-minute chart since the open. This is also one that's run in the past as well here with a $3.29 billion market cap.
Dara for all of that. All right, so we're just we're still in SMCI. You know what's really been working though is this name, man, IBIT. IBIT continues to be a huge move. We wrote down 50-50, watching out for Bitcoin. You can see it is a nice little bounce spot there for BTC up at 88, 89,000. So we'll continue to watch out for that play, making a little bit of money right now on that. So we'll just continue to watch it. More outs here as we get into this level, 89.2, 89.3. But again, nice dip buy opportunity, and we wrote down 50-50 was an area that we liked, so we were able to get that, so that was a good trade. What's not so hot right now, unfortunately for us, looks to be SMCI as it's coming. You know what? I mean, I'm a little bit obsessed right now just watching IBIT. I don't have too many shares right here. I'm going to offer, okay, there we go. We'll take some more now on this. There we go. We get our 60s. So our stop remains the same if this breaks 19. So this is kind of what we're interested in right now on IBIT, a break in and around 19. So that's what I'm going to be looking for now. If we, IBIT, SMCI, if it does come out there, then that's where we're going to get out. So we'll just continue to watch it, you know. Stop orders there. So I don't really have, I mean, looking at where we should maybe be bidding this name, there's always going to be areas of concern. And for me right now, I would say VWAP is pretty good, like 18.10. That doesn't, I mean, sure, it gives us a nice win if we're able to get those levels. But for right now, I don't, you might as well put a bid there. But 18.16, we're well above. It's starting to go back up to the upside, so slightly nervous about that play. Out more Disney ahead of VWAP there as that comes through. All right, what else we want to look at? What's Nvidia doing right now? We've sort of ignored the broader market. I feel like I have anyways. Like I'm not really looking right now at what the Nasdaq's doing. I'm not overly focused in that area right now. But yeah, underneath, so I'd be looking for shorts. So that's why I really haven't been looking at Nvidia lately. The only long we have is Disney, and then we took IBIT because Bitcoin. But Nvidia really working, man. I mean, where was yesterday's highs there for Nvidia? I think oh yeah, that was the very high, but we're already past this sort of afternoon high of 147.80. Not too far past it. If you like the long, I mean, I don't mind that there, coming back into 147.50. We thought AMD looked a little bit stronger today than the others. That seems to be a little bit true there as well as AMD now giving it up though. Nvidia actually up more now than AMD. All right, I got to get over here because SMCI is trying to do some dances, and I don't even know what it's doing. So I got to watch out for SMCI here.
Yeah, I got stopped. I didn't even notice. I threw my stop in right there, a little bit above that VWAP right there, getting short on top of that 18s, and yeah, I stopped out on that one there. Absolutely wild. We did bounce off aggressively off of that 17.4, but like I said, this thing can bounce a little bit higher and still be well within that downtrend on the bigger picture. Oh boy, okay, so missed my ad. Oof. Missed my ad on Disney, man. Ugh. All right, whatever. Next trade or next place to add is what I'll be looking for. I was looking for that VWAP retest, right? So that VWAP retest, I was like, oh, 112s. It's failing to follow through 112s, and we're coming right back down aggressively into one. There it is. There's a cover down there at 111s. Oh boy, 111 quarters. I think I was sitting at. We're trading all the way back down. So 112. That failure to follow through, that rejection of that anchored right there. So let's take a look at the chart right here to see what I'm looking at. Wow, 119 blasting through. So there's definitely a bid there on SMCI coming in to this first half hour. Maybe. I think what like you said you're absolutely wrong above that 1875, right?
Right.
So does that mean if you are absolutely wrong on the short, do you now look for longs if we sustain above the 75? I don't know. How do you?
I'm still not out, but
assess
yeah, no. I was giving it to 1905 break. It basically stopped. There it goes. Now it's going to go. There it goes. Yeah. So okay. Well, fail. I don't know. Where's my fail button? Right there.
Here comes stay low.
I mean, okay, so we gave back there, so we will actually wind up red there on SMCI, so that sucks. Nice move back there to the upsides. We celebrated it early. Just, again, the market, like, all right, I guess we should have got out of the way, right? I mean, I didn't believe this move was happening. I think it's going to be okay. I mean, Nvidia, we said if the market ever caught a bid where we wanted to go, Nvidia right now 148.50. I mean, that might be the buy that we need to make on. I mean, SMCI, I still like the. I still like the short, but it's hard to put that on, right? Right there, Disney fading back out. I guess it just might be Nvidia's world, and we're all trying to live in it. So I'm going to try to buy a little bit right here on Nvidia. All right, so if we do pull back that 148, I mean, we're not going to use too many prior bar highs. It looks like it's trying to go a little parabolic right now. So that would be 148. I mean, obviously we could absorb that little wick bottom. So why don't we hold this to 147.90? It breaks back into 147.90. That's where we'll get out. We'll average this back in at 148. I think this could be a big trade. So we'll see. 147, 84, so like that on the shutdown of this trade. So we'll average it back in. We'll see if we can hold on to this trade. I like it. There's SMCI, by the way. It broke that level. Now it's coming right back in. You want to try a short? Let's try a short on SMCI against 1911s. All right, well, here it comes right back up. Just a small trade. I'd much rather be long Nvidia, so we're doing that. I just thought maybe SMCI got a little carried away there. It's not even a lot of volume, which is the one thing that's puzzling to me a little bit here. So why did it do that? I don't know. But at the end of the day, we don't have to know. We're just going to trade what we see. And right now, we're going to be long Nvidia on a much comfortable position than this short SMCI. Also long IBIT and long Disney.
Yeah, no.
Longs.
I mean, that Disney's definitely working out right now. We did come down to a low of, what is that? That low is 111.09s. Oh boy, all right. So we kind of bounced off of that 111.09s as of right now, trading at 111.60s or 60s or halves right here. Okay, pushing back into 112s. Oh boy, all right. So that thing is coming back a little bit here. So let's see, maybe it'll give us another chance to potentially transact at that anchored if it's going to show us that anchored or that VWAP continues to have sellers here. I'm watching that 15-minute. I'm watching that 30-minute. Hourly, not just yet, but I'm also watching a 30-second chart. I don't know if you guys watch second charts. Leave it in the chat. Do you guys watch sub-minute charts? I know some people like the 30-second, some people like the 5-second, some people like the 10-second chart as well. And on names that are doing crazy volume and maybe maybe festered with algos, I think. Yeah, no, I think those second charts are definitely can provide some perspective on historical tape action. Like I've shown you before, like you can see those reserves on the second charts. So you can see them if you look at a 5-second chart, and you can identify reserves that may have been there on the ticker at certain price levels that may not show up in a minute candle as well. So yeah, you can have tick charts as well. So yeah, a lot of people talking about using the 1 second for limit order to be filled. The commission will be there. All right, nice. So yeah, 111 still trading right now. But yeah, no, some of those patterns. Derek Thompson asking, what time frame do you like? I like all the frames. I like all the frames. Where's the price at? Like,
right.
Where's the chart looking good? Don't necessarily want to, I guess, not really line fit, but frame fit. But price action, I think, definitely has a bit of fractal nature to it. So whichever time frame the trade is looking good on, I want to kind of play on that time frame, I would say. Yeah, nice. So 111 halves as of right now trading at that on Disney. So going to continue to watch that one. We're back above 19s on SMCI.
Yeah, we punched out there. We could have had a little bit of a profit there, but we didn't really take it, which is my bad. It did go down about 10 cents for us. Was just bouncing around there. It was such a small position, it didn't really, but it did go down in there. I was bidding actually 80s, so we do miss that by a couple pennies. We're more in trouble with Nvidia because Nvidia, I mean, in trouble. We're not trying to put on a lot of shares. I just thought that we wanted to be long this name, and I was trying to take it against this level. So the mistake is really getting long up there first, but we did put on a price. Our price is now 18s. So it looks like it wants to, I'm only giving this a breaking of 85. It looks like, well, oh, what a good morning it was, and now it's starting to be, we'll still be positive, but looks like we'll give some back here, especially if Nvidia breaks lower right now. I thought we liked this name. The market completely turned on us. We had said this the other day that maybe the best thing to do is trade the market sometimes, and that might be the case here today, but we'll still hold on to Nvidia and see what it wants to do here for us. Hopefully it wants to give us some profitable looks, but right now we're about 10 cents away from getting stopped out. We're only out of the money 20 cents, but you know, trying to put on winners, not losers, that is for sure. It looks like crypto will be the big winner. It seems like all the time for us here. As there goes Bitcoin again. It went all the way to 51 and change there for IBIT. I guess I better get on that screen right now for IBIT. So yeah, nice move upside there. I wish we would have done a little bit better on that. But there goes Nvidia. It does break as well. So a little bit of a bad moment there on the chip names as we wind up losing on SMCI as that goes straight up, as Nvidia goes straight down. So yeah, right now we're touching 147.50, almost like there's news here on Nvidia. The market is really giving it back here to the downside. So watch out now on a little bit of a break here to the market downside. Trying to play off this 200 in VWAP now. 147 is a level that we've liked. Let's see if that one holds. Not really trying to chase Nvidia. I mean, we were able to get out of it there for a 30-cent hit. Now let's just see if we can sort of build into that 147. This would be a trade that I don't mind losing on. I like the 147 level. So at least now, oopsies, as we play off of the, okay, the futures just broke that 21.1, and it seems like it wants to continue to go. So let's be a little careful with this one. Market pulling back. Good short on Disney as that's pulling back in, I see as well.
Yeah, thank you. The whole market's pulling back, man. That's the thing. I'm looking at some of these, I guess, election basket, if you want to call it, that I had pulled up. I got DXYZ, Tesla, DJT, Funware, and maybe some crypto names as well. A lot of names coming to the downside. DXYZ catching quite a bit of a sell. Tesla as well. Tesla had that base in and around that 320 mark. We kind of talked about that 336 area being a little interesting as well. And we've kind of failed a lot of those levels, making lower highs off of that high at 358. So it seems like that action might have been a little capitulatory. I have no idea, but it is definitely coming down much, much further. That high just 3 days ago was at 358. We're trading at 316s, 317s right now, Sean. So absolutely crazy.
All right, I want to make sure that everybody asks us a lot of questions on the chat, and we do get a lot. So let's talk right now about how Trade the Pool works. Here's the breakdown first. How do you get involved? Well, it's the evaluation. You choose the evaluation according to the account size that you're liking to manage, from 20,000 up to 260,000 in buying power. Once you meet the profit target, you become a funded trader and start to trade with the Trade the Pool's capital. What about shorting penny stocks? Of course you can. You can trade any of the 12,000 symbols with no hard-to-borrow fees. And you guys, you're trading real shares, not CFDs. And yes, they're global, welcoming traders from all over the world. Want to be part of the trading revolution? Make sure to join tradethepool.com and see how they're changing the game. We want to thank Trade the Pool for being involved with us here at Trader TV Live. All right. Yeah, let's go over to ADR and see what's going on.
I'm here dipping to the downside, currently trying to hold on to this 234 level. We're seeing continued lower highs, lower lows after it failed to break back above that previous level of resistance at 240 yesterday on that 15-minute chart. So weaker look here for IWM on a chart basis and I believe in a percentage basis than what we're seeing for the major indices here like the SPY and the NASDAQ. Now let's take a look at some of these movers here. We have UAVS, definitely removed here from day's highs, but Ag Eagle Aerial Systems, this one trades here on the Amex. They did announce here they've got some new purchase orders from their U.S. defense and security customers. Yesterday morning, they also regained NASDAQ listing compliance. So good look there for sorry about that. UAVS here to the upside. But it's also worth noting they have a 55% short float with that defense story. Then we have Black Sky Technology, BKSY. This one here pushing higher, although it is pulling back a little bit from day's highs. Apparently, there's some rumors here that the company's been picked up by, or the stock's been picked up by James Altucher's newsletter. So good look here for BKSY with a 6% short float. Also with a 6% short float here is QUBT. This one was a huge small cap move yesterday with a $386 million market cap here. This was a day two move. Yesterday, they announced their first order for their photonic chip foundry. They also get some price target increases here, including from Ascendant Capital. So day two move here for QUBT, guys.
All right, thank you.
I also like the ION Q again, another quantum name there. A few things playing out on that space. All right, so IBIT did make a nasty turn down into this level again. I'm still going to try to be patient with it, see if we can get a 30. You know, the market is fading out, so we have to be a little smarter about what we're trying to do, right, and not get too carried away with all of these plays. We do have a good little win here on Nvidia. I'm trying to hold out to see if this one wants to go a little bit higher here. Not sure if that's what it wants to do, but we're going to hold out. Good dip buy off the 200. We don't have that exact price, which we should have in and around 30. We did dip buy into the 50s. It did just make a move up to 70 there, so we did have 20 cents back on this play, but we're trying to hold for a little bit longer. Watch out for a 147 break. I would say once you're underneath everything, forget about it. We want to go long this name because it's a strong name, and whether or not it goes up from here, all we can do is try to play off levels. This is fitting perfectly to me. Here's the 5-minute chart as well, right? Coming right into some levels. We got the VWAP, we got the 50-period moving average. They're all down here at 147. So for me, this is a play. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But it's something that I believe in, and I'm going to take a little bit more shares down here at 147.20 and just it's not hope for the best. It's that this is the trade. And so we're going to sit in it and see if it works out. I think there's a good chance that it does. So we're going to take that dip buy opportunity to an advantage and hopefully be able to buy something a little bit lower. SMCI kind of slaps us around a little bit there. It goes as high as 19 and change, about 19.15s. We got out at 19.10 there, but that was a small trade just to wait for this move. But I guess we waited too long as we're not involved right now on that. So that kind of yuck. We should be involved, but we're not on that play. So we'll have to wait to see now with SMCI where it wants to go. So now Nvidia, IBIT's coming back in, 50.30. We're going to buy that level as well. 88.250 here for Bitcoin. We can have a quick little look here. I got to keep on refreshing that chart. Let's go into a 2-minute chart or so for Bitcoin. Get out of there, advertising. All right, so here's the fall back in. So we are looking to see for a hold. I mean, that's 88,000, right? We bounced off 88,000 pretty clean there. So we'll have to wait to see again right there again, which gave us this bottom pick. So now we're comfortable watching out for 88 grand. Key level, something to look at here on Bitcoin. So let's put some more bids down here, 50-30s or so, to see if it does take another run there and off SMCI. There's the push back into this level. We could be short again there, but we're not. Good look on Disney as that's going to pull back right into that 110.50 area, which again, maybe another area that I like, but I'm trying to focus now on Nvidia.
Yeah, man, I'm just patiently waiting, watching, looking for the next trade. I have the trade that, I guess I didn't have the trade that I originally wanted, which was the long on Disney. But again, we take the backside of that move when it kind of shows itself there. So definitely want to continue to kind of work with this one. I kind of missed that ad underneath that anchor there, like I talked about underneath that VWAP. I was looking, I'm like, all right, well, I need to get more into this because if this is going to go through that that opening range low, we're headed straight for that right now. Trading only about I guess 75 pennies to a point away from that level right now. As again, we talk about the, I guess, trading being a bit of a PvP game. Everybody who got along off of the open, that was a solid trade. Again, I missed that trade. That was a great trade, and it pushes up almost over 4 points into the pre-market highs. And I was looking for that continuation, right? But then when that fails to follow through, there's people definitely offside, looking at the same thing that I'm looking at. But I'm like, all right, well, let's K2, K3 this and be like, all right, well, if they're thinking that and I'm thinking that, and then I would do this, then what would I do to not do that? If that makes any sense? You know what I mean? You know, so it's like playing against other players is what I mean.
Yeah, I get it.
So it's like when you see that it fails to follow through, that 114, I think that's a 114 is a great place to get short. But yeah, you're right. That 110 area could catch a bit of a bid because that's where a lot of those longs got in off of that 110.25 day low as of right now. Pre-market lows as well. Consolidations in and around that 108 to 110s right there as well on that initial pullback off of the rip, off of the earnings report there as well. So a lot of interesting prices that we could potentially visit going forward in the day. But coming in right now is a strong bid on the market. So you can see that bottom wick coming quite aggressively. So the question I ask right now is if or how much longer until this 15-minute candle to print, Sean, and that is about 2 minutes and 20 seconds for this 15-minute candle to print. So we're poised to print a bit of a bottom wick here on these names. So I'm curious to know what tickers might be catching a bid alongside this market. So let's.
Well, we got one here.
You got one? Which one do you?
We got Nvidia. I mean, we talked about this. I can't, honestly, we're cooking it up right now. We talked about it as in, I said, if there was one stock we wanted to go in on, it was going to be Nvidia. So there it is right now. Happy, joy finally strikes right now as we start to go back up on IBIT. We start to go back up right now. Now it's 50 cents in the money, and we got shares on this one, Obi. So really happy and proud that we were able to at least hopefully convince some of you that this was a trade that could do this. So nice move. There it is. There's a nice move to the upside. Wow, this is moving a little bit nicer than I thought, Obi, right now. So good trading. Looks like anyways here so far on Nvidia. Nice move back up to the upside. We're out of about half of it, a little bit less than half, sorry, which means I need to get out some more right now. As it's gone meme crazy the other way right now. It just dropped about 20 pennies there for no reason. So we're gonna have to be careful. We did get some out there at 95. We'll look to get some more out now, but that was a little bit of a fun drop. I don't know what was up with that. We were just cruising up there. We got 15s, believe it or not. And now, okay, well, whatever. I'm settling for these prices. It's all good. Oh gosh. We got 08s and 02s there, my bad. We did not mean to get out of that many shares, but here comes Nvidia right back there to the upside. I like the stock starting to move as well. Nice stock here at IBIT. We're gonna be long on that name. And again, part of it is like trusting what you see, and the other part is luck. There is gonna be a lot of times, we're waiting at 68 as well, there we go. There's gonna be a lot of situations where it's like, you know, the stock market will just rebound for you. And that's what's happening right now. But is it really lucky, or do you just have to be willing to take the trade? I mean, we saw this name go up. I said, hey, we want to be long Nvidia. We started it here, bad trade, but then it came back under here, and I was like, this is the trade we like. I like this trade. I like the way it's setting up. So yeah, man, we put it back on, and that's what we're here to do, is teach. This is it, man. We knew it was falling back into that level. We take it off, and now Nvidia is a pretty, won't be my top name, but it'll be pretty close to it right now, trying to take out Disney right now. So good move there, up for Nvidia. We only have 4% left of Disney, so it's not the end of the world. Good trade there by my guy. What's your name again? Oh yeah, Obi. All right, good trade there, Obi. Nvidia right here, 90 cents now. Sorry, 80 cents right now in the money as Nvidia ticks higher and higher and higher. Let's go. Good trading over here on the day. Good trading by you, Obi. You got Rocket Labs yesterday. You got Disney today. So yeah. And again, what a different trade that we both had on this one. We buy that dip early, get out on the initial push, which is perfect. Now we hold for this dip into 110 again, which we just missed, to be honest with you, as we're focused over here. I'm going to get out a little bit more here on Nvidia. We do have crude inventories coming at 10:30. Let's go over to the desk with Adair, then we'll hear from Obi.
We're actually getting apparently the crude inventory is coming through at 11, but we did just get the natural gas change number coming in at 42 billion here versus the forecast of 39 billion, previous of 69 billion. So below the previous, but above the forecast here for that natural gas change print there from the EIA. Now here we're going to talk about some crypto. I have Mars startup here. A lot of these crypto stocks looking almost the same, but one interesting story here, we have ClearStreet, which is this cloud-based, I guess, fintech firm working to, I guess, modernize brokerages, according to their blurb there. Basically here, they're starting this equity research group is what they're calling it. And one thing they're focusing on is going to be here some coverage on these crypto spaces. They're going to cover Bitfarms, BitDigital, CleanSpark, Mara Holdings. Here I have MARA up here, Riot Platforms, and TeraWulf. So some of these miners going to be covered here by this new research group. Keep an eye out, I guess, for ClearStreet's equity research firm. Now here, Bitcoin. Pretty weak here, as you can see, emulated by those crypto stocks. We have Bitcoin pulling back below that 89,000 level. And it's worth noting this morning here, as of the watch list, it was around 91.5. So we've pulled back quite considerably, especially from yesterday when we had that 93.5 new all-time high. So let's see if the Bitcoin and the crypto trade continues. We had a pause again on Tuesday. Who's to say this isn't another temporary pause? We'll have to wait and find out. Now, in terms of some of these other crypto plays, Ethereum getting hit a lot harder than Bitcoin. This was near 32 this morning. Now, trying to hold on to this 30,000 level, or sorry, 3,000 level below 3,100, down about 6%. Dogecoin down about 8% after its epic rally yesterday on that Department of Government Efficiency announcement. Also some weakness here in XRP, Cardano, and Shiba Inu, both down about 8%. So there's some names taking some pretty hard hits, guys.
All right, thank you.
Right, yeah, that Ethereum play there. We had Satya on yesterday talking about how she had preferred Ethereum there to Bitcoin. So we'll find out more about what's going on with that as that continues to go just a little bit lower. There, yeah, 3,000. Not a good look there, I think, Obi. There for ETH, as it's not holding up well at all, the BTC. So, all right, we'll just continue to have a look there. No matter what's going on, we're going to be here for you every single day. Nvidia does make that move right back in, but like we said to you guys before, we were out of about half. We got out of a little bit more than that as well as it started to come back in again. So, a little bit of a difficult day, in my opinion, to try to trade some of these big cap names here, especially with the Nvidias. I mean, again, we've only really traded Nvidia and IBIT. Disney was a good play early, as we continue to be on that one, as it's coming back into a nice little level. I wanted to ask you about that. Where is there a level that you're looking to cover this trade, Obi?
On Disney?
Yeah, like
I think I'm waiting for it to crack that that day low, the opening range low, sitting at 110.25s, and then I'll take a bit of an assessment. But like break of trend maybe, but again, we have anchored VWAP, which is still nice. Luckily enough, I'm sitting with a price that's above anchored VWAP. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. Power bars have been holding on a few different frames as well. So there's a few different things that I'm watching potentially to be like, all right, well, this trade is starting to go the other direction. But as of right now, bit poised for a push of this. But again, we could also not push. This is where we found that bid. That bid could come in a little bit here. Maybe let's see if we can make a lower high there, or do we crack straight through that that day low as of right now? Disney, again, volumes dropping off, relative volumes also dropping off. It's about, I guess it's 10:35 as of right now. So I'm just kind of patiently waiting to see. Letting the trade work is what I'm trying to do. But I have been covering along the way. You can see that, right? So I have been covering aggressively along the way. I don't know if that's the best kind of decision making, but again, I was just like, okay, just taking nibbles off of the position there, looking for a continuation through that day low. But again, if that's not going to happen, that's not going to happen, and we will reassess. Again, sitting at an average of 112.27s right now. Yeah, 112.27s, 27 and some change right there. A lot of decimals going on past that 27, but we'll wait and see. I did have multiple entries on the short, right? So yeah, we'll wait and see if that day low cracks, or we do catch a bit of a bid off of this level. So that's kind of what I'm looking for here.
Okay, we yeah. So just on IBIT, we got a little bit more out there. We got more long there on that dip in, like that just flew into our level. And sometimes you got to have the bids out to get filled. So we were down there at 50.30, so a nice little drop in there for our friend IBIT as that continues to make those moves. So we're pretty happy with what IBIT is doing right now in at this level. So a good little drip into 50.30. I'm going to take another piece out here. I mean, we got to just sort of celebrate when we get the wins and make sure that we take them off. So right back low again into there. This has been my day on IBIT so far, so it's been a eventful one there as we wait to see what happens now with IBIT. Took out half right there of that jump. So, you know, not willing to like think that we were so smart by picking the exact bottom. Let's play momentum now back up to the upside. All right, let's go over to Adair and see what she's up to.
This part of the show is brought to you by eSignal. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to an elite trading experience. Analyze, strategize, and capitalize. eSignal can help you foresee profitable opportunities with the platform that you need. It provides infinite data for instant trading, so you can know where the market's moving before others, because you'll have access to lightning fast data and charts that change the game. Customize and analyze markets faster, your way. There's also better backtesting and scanning, so you can predict the future by understanding the past and reliable real-time data, up to the second market info from hundreds of global markets. Everything you need, all in one place. Don't miss a beat. Execute your best trades now with eSignal. Are you ready to elevate your trading? Scan the QR code or click the link in the description.
I mean, if you're ready, you know, click that link immediately. I told you yesterday we had a discussion with eSignal looking to add some new things into the platform, and I think it'll be something that definitely helps all the traders, and we'll have more on that as that gets developed. All right, so I honestly here, I know you're still in that Disney position. I'm just adding a little bit, taking a little bit off, sorry, of Nvidia. We just had that drip down in here into 147.70. Fabian, the chart just really quickly. Yeah, right into there, into basically not really the 50 period. It would now be the 50 period. So I'm going to start to get some out. I was thinking of like not even really holding this all the way back down to 147 anymore. The futures have had their run, and Nvidia is doing its own thing right now, which is really great. I mean, we're in the money 65 cents, which is fine. 30 cents in IBIT, 30 cents in Disney. Oh, by the way, I did take some out on Disney there. So Disney just went right back up. I took some 111.20s or whatever, 111.15s or something right there as it came back upside. So, hey, look, we'll take 50 cents right now on Disney. I do think we can get a lot more to the upside, but this is like Nvidia, but the other way around. Sorry, let me zoom this in. What am I doing here? What is happening? All right, this is a disaster right there. All right, so what I was going to show you was this. We're underneath everything, underneath. So as long as we're underneath, we should be thinking about a short. So I do like Obi's position there. I'm going to try to buy it back in here at 110.50. And if we lose 110, then we're gone. But let's try to believe in that name for now, for me anyways, on Disney. And just to let everybody know, we have 5% of that position left. So nowhere near like that. This is a focus over there. So I'm not necessarily trading against each other here. 148.50 right now. Nice move up there for Nvidia. I'm going to put an offer up there where we went long the first time. So 148.40. Let's see if we get an out up there on Nvidia. I think it's worth putting a decent sized position for an out. So that's what we're going to do there as Nvidia making a move to try to become my #1 stock there today. But you know what might be? It might be IBIT after all this, as IBIT continues to move higher. SMR, shaking my head again, 25 bucks, good levels, but lost on that one in SMCI. Come on, back up to 19.20 there. We probably should have taken a little bit of an advantage of that. Double top a couple times up there at the top side. So I like it. If Eduardo, if Bitcoin breaks the low of the day, it could be a signal break and a trend bearish signal. Yes, agreed, Eduardo. I mean, if Bitcoin winds up breaking, the low of the day for me, and I'm going to throw it back to Obi in a second here. I got to call Randy. You want a coffee? I need to get another coffee here.
I'm okay.
You're okay. Yeah, I would think 88,000. I mean, this is the look here. I'm not too worried about the low of the day if we're talking about 88.3, Eduardo. I want to see what happens here at 88. So that's going to be the play for me. That goes back into, and again, I'm not sure the timing of this is Wednesday at 4:30. So yesterday afternoon. I want to see what happens at 88,000. So that to me would be the decision maker for me on that one, Obi.
Yeah, no, we're catching a bit of a curl here, again, at the same place where we caught a bid off of the open there. So again, like I said, I'm going to be patiently watching that one. We did get an aggressive bid that's coming in off of a trend break as well, but haven't really, I guess we were respecting the 8 moving average and the 21 as well. So I'm kind of watching that to see what price action is doing in and around some of those prices. We did kind of reclaim as of right now, but this bar still hasn't necessarily closed, open and closed above that moving average just yet. So I don't know if players are really going to be making decisions off of the break of this levels just yet. But we are getting a bit of a curl, right? And we're still underneath that anchored and that VWAP right there sitting at 112s. So now I was a little aggressive adding down near these lows looking for that push right away. So I did bring my average down a little bit lower than I had really liked. And I'm sitting at that VWAP right now, so I don't really like that too much as of right now. But we'll continue to watch this. Let's see if it makes any lower lows to get in even more aggressive on this short idea. But if we're going to get past that VWAP, then you know what? Then I'm more than willing to get out and reassess. What's up, Adara?
We have both the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ slightly to the downside here. Certainly some weakness in technology services. Meta, Google, CRM, all bringing this group to the downside, though Netflix, which has been strong over the past few days, looking to continue that trend. We also have some weakness in health technology, led to the downside by Eli Lilly, LLY. This one dropped right off the open. Couldn't find any catalyst for that move either, so this one could be on watch. Consumer durables generally really strong here. Lots of dark green on that sector, with the exception of major component Tesla, TSLA, sharply to the downside here. Looks like a reversal of that Trump trade, though it's worth noting Jefferies actually they raised the price target from $195 to $300, but maintained a hold on the stock. Finance pretty strong. Consumer services pretty strong here, led by Disney to the upside. Commercial services looking pretty good. And electronic technology, there's a great look here for this, for some of these larger names at least. Apple looking great here, and Nvidia up on the day ahead of its earnings ratings and positive analyst notes. QCOM as well, one of the few bright lights that's not a Mag 7 in that electronic technology names, guys.
Thank you. So Nice little
Nvidia's trying to
sector
go.
look. Nvidia's going.
I don't
Yeah,
have too much else, man.
market's
I mean,
bouncing a
IBID's
bit.
back in. What are you working on?
Just to kind of getting in more of this Disney right now, and looking for that pullback in towards that lower day, looking for that lower high, right? So looking for that bid that did step up off of that day low. Again, that's where that bid came in right off of the open. We're catching a little bit of a bid as of right now back in towards those 111.5. So I like that as of right now. But can we sustain that 111s? That's the question I'm asking right now. That 110.5 again was that anchored view or that view up right off of the open as well. We see these prices right here. So that view up right off of the open. Where is it? Right here. So yeah, 110.38. 111.43 is right after that that aggressive bid that did come in. We're trading below some of those prices as of right now, or the 111.40s for sure. We're trading below right now. So I'm going to continue watching this one for a continued downside move. I'm looking for that day low break, man. But if that day low is going to bring that bid right back in, I'm more than willing to be wrong on this ticker. As of right now, we did kind of churn out or piece out of a lot of the position, got back in, got a little aggressive near these lows. So maybe I don't like these entries as much. I'm perfectly fine with these. Looking to step in a lot more if we do get back into that anchored. And I'm trying to be nimble with it, Sean. So it's something I'm trying to work on and get better at. Is building into the position when it is working for me, right? And being the most aggressive when it is working for me. So it's a work in progress. We'll get better, but as of right now, the market is kind of pushing up, and Disney, that bid kind of falling off again. I'm kind of lost for words watching this tape. Get a little aggressive on that back through that 111. So all right, so maybe we're poised for that 110.25 breakdown as of right now, that day low, and that prior low right here sitting at 110.30. So okay, we kind of bounced off of 5 pennies above that day low as of right now. So maybe I do need to respect that piece of information. But how much do I have to respect it? I don't know just yet. I think this 111 or a lower high might be a little telling on that. SMCI still chopping around this 18, 19 mark right now, so not really getting involved with that. Same thing with Rocket Labs. I wanted to take the continuation downside on Rocket Labs, and I did write down a couple of missed trades on my part coming off of the open, and I can tell you exactly what they were. I missed out on the Disney VWAP hold and opening drive push that we had. Again, shout out to Sean for having that trade. Absolutely banger right there. It goes from 110s to 114s and change almost to 115s. And I'm like, all right, so that's definitely a missed trade on my part. Rocket Lab, I was looking at that fade continuation right off of the open, and that trade did come in right here. So we can take a look at that as well. RKLB. So you can see right off of the open, look at that aggressive fade, man. Absolutely wild. That $20 mark showing up once again in the pre-market session here as it pushes all the way to the downside. A bit of a shelf here sitting on top of this 1735s as of right now. That's definitely a mistrade for mine. And then one more I did write down was this reload at that anchored. This I think is a trade within itself when you do get back below that anchored or that view up and then attempt to retest and then fail to follow through for a push back down. And we did get all of that. So I do like what I'm seeing here on this ticker as of right now. But with the time kind of not time slowing down, with the time kind of pushing past that 1046, price action slowing down, that volume also dissipating as well. You can see the relative volume dropping off as well. So like right off of the open, we had 75 to 40 times relative volume, 30 times relative volume. And as we started to break back down below that VWAP, we're coming down to 15 times relative volume with a drop off in volume as well. So could be interesting. But again, price action will dictate. Volume, again, I like that as one of my number one indicators. And volume dropping off is a decent sign. The price action also has to confluence with that indicator as well. So I see that you are still in that Nvidia thing.
Yeah, it's $1. So we're in the money now as it continues to go up through that high of the day again. So right there, man, we believed in it. We did sell it right there. We got out of the way. But like I said, man, you live to basically, sort of breathe another day here in the stock market. Like you never want to. And we always talk about proper risk management and things like that. And I just believe in that like wholeheartedly. Like there's nothing else pretty much that I try to base my decisions on other than trying to make the best risk adjustments as possible, basically at all times. And I mean, if the market's going to give it to us, like right now, I'm trying to figure out where do we think we want to go now on this Nvidia trade. I just put an offer there at 75s, sorry, at 70s. But now I'm just, you know what, take a piece out right here, 65, it's all good. If we can get that out, we will. So we're doing that right now. Nice little trade here on Nvidia. Coming back in, and again, it's about believing in it, right? We talked about this trade, why we liked Nvidia, thought it made sense to us. We talked about it earlier on the day. You can rewind to 8:30 when we went live. And I said, if there was one thing that we're going to try to do here today is if the market catches a bid, we're going to go to the semis. So that's exactly what we did right now. And oh boy, are we happy with that decision as we do catch the bid right now. And there it is. There's that out that we took at 65. Pretty good decision to get out right there. We're still holding about, I'd have to go back and see how many shares we did have at that point. I try to get like, sort of like as precise as I can without, you know, getting too crazy, but maybe like 15% or so left of this position. Again, a lot of the outs were right here. Like when we got up to 148.30 and then especially down into here, 148.20s or so, this is where we got a lot of our shares out of the way for Nvidia. So nice move back up there. I mean, I wish we would have known it was coming right back up to the high of the day. And remember, we are pennies away from all-time high. And by pennies away, I mean exactly $1. It's 149.66, 100 pennies away. Hold on, well, I'll get this for you exactly now. Nvidia's all-time highs, 149.77. So we are now 148.60, so about a buck 25 away or so from breaking that high. We'll see if we can get there on Nvidia. I'm here for it. So let's see what winds up happening. All right, IBIT, by the way, cranking to the downside right now is IBIT. So Bitcoin holders unite. I don't know if you are hodling this thing or not, but for right now, it is making that move down into buy zones. We got my guy Joe back over there. He's ready to rock and roll on crypto. He was talking also the other day about 84,000 being a level of concern. We'll hear more about that from Joe and Sharif on the midday. But we are now long IBIT right here at $50.20. It's already been one of the top trades for me today. We are back in it. If this drops, hey, what's up, Joe? If this drops below 50 bucks, we're out. So that's the stop area for me on IBIT. So let's see if we can get a nice little run back there to the upside. Man, you guys are in for a treat this afternoon. Joe and Sharif, what are you guys talking about? Any ideas yet? Ooh, volume price analysis. So get those volumes and price analyzed on the midday. Here goes IBIT. Let's go. Money. Oh, wait a second. Wow. Nvidia, man, taking it to heart right now. It wants to take that out. It wants to go to all-time highs, and I think it will. Nvidia right now, 148 and humming. Take a word from my guy over there. We're humming right now on Nvidia. So let's go back over to the desk and see what Adair is up to.
What a topping tail candle here for the DXY. We have this wick here above actually 107. So coming into previous resistance here on the daily chart, and then we come right back to sit right above this other recent level of resistance, this double top that we got in late April, early May. So really interesting level here for the DXY, again, around 106.5 right now. We got some PPI data earlier today. Month over month, exactly in line here with expectations, 0.2% versus 0.2% expected. But the PPI year over year and both core prints all came in 0.1% higher than expected. So slightly hotter than inflation here from what we're, hotter than expected, inflation from what we're seeing. And we got initial jobless claims a little bit lower here than we were expecting. Also, Fed comments. We do get the big dog later today, Jerome Powell speaking at 3 p.m. I'll be giving you updates from that. But basically, we do have Fed's barking earlier today saying that apparently the Fed is making progress on inflation but needs to keep going. Also apparently mentioning housing is a big issue. Interestingly enough, too, we actually have Fed's bargain opining on some of the metrics being used, saying that unemployment is apparently an important indicator of how the labor market is evolving. We know they've been looking at labor, but also saying apparently weekly credit card spending could be a good area in terms of how consumption is going. So different metrics, I guess, on watch for Fed's bargain. But we are going to take a moment here to thank our sponsors at VinFast because they have some exciting news for VinFast. VFS is the ticker for that one. That's a Vietnamese pure-play EV manufacturer. The company has just secured substantial backing to supercharge its growth. Vingroup, Vietnam's largest private conglomerate, is committing a hefty $1.4 billion by 2026. But that's not all. VinFast founder and CEO, that Pham Nhat Vuong is stepping up with a personal injection of $2.1 billion, reinforcing his belief in the company's bright future. This funding isn't just a show of confidence, it's a strategic boost designed to power VinFast's path to break even by 2026. This move by Vingroup and Mr. Vuong underlines their strong support to VinFast's long-term success. And there's even more. Vingroup's converting $3.3 billion of its existing loans into non-voting preference shares, easing VinFast's financial obligations and giving its balance sheet a serious lift. Back to you guys.
All right, we're trying to give our net a little bit of a lift here. So we got out of some IBIT. IBIT just ripped again for us. And by ripping, I mean like we got long and then we got long at 15s and then a minute later we were able to get it out at 30s and 35s. So yeah, we did take advantage of that. We talked about that was the plan of action on that. We also talked about getting some out on Nvidia, which we're out on again. And then I know that you're still in this Disney, so I hate celebrating it, but it is making a nice move up. It just went to 112. So we got another piece out there on Disney as we'll wait. So there's our other piece out there at 111.75s or so. Nice trade for us off that long. We should have reloaded it. We weren't over there. We were looking at Nvidia. But hey, look, man, we put Nvidia on the board as well. So far, so good here. My next offer for Nvidia is 149 flat. So that's coming out. I might as well just cancel that and put it right here. All right, let's get something out at 83s. There it is. And then we'll get another piece out at 95s, and then we'll wait. But Nvidia right now, $1.25 in the money. And honestly, my best trade of the day.
Yeah, man, that's solid bounce play on that Nvidia there. Really, market's kind of pushing up off of those lows there. We talk about that 6,000 bounce on the ES. Wow, ES actually did a bit of a lick grab right there. I didn't even notice that. Lick grab that 6,000 and then the push up there on the NASDAQ as well. So interesting stuff here. I don't really have too much else on watch. Again, SMCI, I'm going to continue watching that one there. Disney, again, one of the top ideas on the day. There's a couple of missed trades, but solid kind of a reversion or a fade trade there, failure to follow through, whatever you want to call it. I'm looking for potential lower highs there. This was an aggressive bid that ripped all the way back up into VWAP right here. We've kind of stalled after that bid. So it's like it rips up and then it just stalls at 112s, which is interesting as of right now. So Scott Edwards saying head and shoulders on SMCI. Okay, we can take a quick look at that SMCI if that is actually a head and shoulders currently. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like, all right, cool. Kind of sideways chop above this opening range high is what that more so looks like as of right now. So there's some size on the ask there on Disney, potentially chasing it down 60s. We're there. I think Buddy got filled at 60s. Yeah, okay. So on an NSB, so that's the NASDAQ book, 111.60s got filled for about 10,000 shares on the ask right there, and a little bit before in the 70s as well. Almost 14 lots, or yeah, 14 lots getting filled on that as well. So interesting action. Don't really know what a lot of that means, but there's definitely some volume going on in and around some of these prices is what I like to see. We did have an aggressive bid on light volume that pushed all the way up into 112s, and then you suddenly start churning volume on top of that 112 or underneath that 112. Underneath the VWAP as well. So interesting stuff nonetheless. Not the best average. I think me getting too aggressive at these lows kind of definitely messed up my average there. I have to be a little bit more patient, waiting for some of these, I guess, anchors or the VWAPs or prior highs, consolidation levels as well from the pre-market there to come in to take the next trade. So that's what I'm watching here as well. The other name that was on watch was Rocket Lab and Lunar. Let's take a look at Lunar to see if that's going anywhere. LUNR. Lunar, so we did have that halt down off of the open, so we are continuing to the downside. Now, I don't know if we needed borrows for this one, but I think we definitely probably needed some borrows for that one, but I will not make a 100% assumption on that. And then RKLB, I know for a fact we don't need borrows on this one. And that thing is trending to the downside, bit of a flag or whatever, consolidation, flat bottom break potential on that RKLB continuation. It's consolidating underneath yesterday's lows. What's Bitcoin?
I want to let you keep going there, but Bitcoin right now is at 88,000, looking to break lower. So Bitcoin is finally making that move that we all not feared, but that we all did not want to see that break back down into 88,000. So I'm going to get stopped out here if it does break through 50. Notice I have not averaged in. There's no way in heck I want to throw back what we've already made here on IBIT. So we're just going to let this thing break. If it breaks, we are completely comfortable with this trade. We're flat on the trade now. So again, like if you ever get nervous about trades, sometimes I do that and I can start to piece these out. But because we've already got out, especially, like, I don't know if you guys notice some of these things. Sometimes when you get key levels, you want to pop it out almost immediately when that comes in, right? So they're out. Like within 1 minute, we sort of pop right back. And so that's always going to be something that I like to look at to get out of some pieces there. So we still do hold some. There's no doubt about that. Looking to see if we can get something out again in the mid-20s. But I'm just going to hold this. I mean, again, I like it. I like what's been happening here on BTC lately. We've been really absorbing some of these levels. IBIT, though, today, though, taking a little bit of a nosedive, right? I mean, it started at 52.50 all the way back down to $50. It's not a pretty day here for crypto, that's for sure. But, I mean, I think it's worth holding on to it. You do have a lot of ups and downs here. And, yeah, part of IBIT is going to take some hits. So here it comes, trying to break through $50. If it does exactly that, I've sort of, looks like the math will be right. I wanted to do 50 for 88,000. So that's pretty much exactly what we're looking at right now. So, again, we'll drop out of that if that is the case. We were not able to get out of any more Nvidia since we had last talked. So remember, we were like, we're going to have an order at 149. Now we'll just take it right here. So we did take a piece out there, and we top ticked it again on Nvidia. But that's luck. You guys saw me sitting here talking about it. I don't ever want to sit here and be like, yeah, you know what, was part of the plan. No, we were waiting for 149s. We saw the momentum. We got out. Now we wait. My out on this trade is 148 break. I was going to use the 50-period moving average, but just because of the day and because of this move here on the futures, let's just wait to see. We do have Jerome Powell coming to speak a little bit later on. Not that the market's going to react to that right now. What time was that coming, Adara? 3 p.m. So we still have well into the day before we have to worry about what Jerome's going to be saying. But we do have, I did want to say something here because I saw a note from Ramin who had done some work on this. So let me just show you guys. I tweeted this out yesterday, where of course we're going to be very, very proud. I'm going to retweet this right now. We do have Peter Schiff coming, over 1 million followers. He'll be joining us tomorrow. And if you're interested in gold, look, we like Michael Noss on the show. We like everybody that we have. But Peter's been talking about gold forever. So go over or join us tomorrow at noon, I believe is the confirmed time. And there it is right there. The countdown is now on. I will like it and retweet this. So go over to our social media and find out more details about Mr. Peter Schiff coming tomorrow on the show. And hey, this is a big hitter in this space. We've seen gold pull back about 8 or 9%. I'll double check that. Over 1 million followers and very outspoken. He'll be with Brendan tomorrow at noon. So get ready for Peter Schiff. He's been on the show 3 or 4 times, I was going to say before, so, but it's been a minute, so we're happy to have him back. All right, there's Nvidia bouncing back just one more time, Obi. I'm going to put an offer here as we'll get a 64, and there it goes. So that's exactly what we wanted to do there. Get something out at 50, get something out at 60. Now we'll wait for the high of the day, and hopefully that comes in very, very soon. I do have an offer at 148.95, so we will take a piece out if we're lucky enough to do that. Disney falling back in again.
Yeah, man. I'm kind of watching that. So we had a strong volume push. Like I said, it had a push into that anchored, and then now we're trading a little bit lower here, going into this 11 o'clock mark. Oh boy, it's 11.
I had no idea. I had no idea there. So my
guess
bad.
what time it is, Sean?
Yeah, it's time to go over to the main show here. We are ready for the franchise. We've got 2 of them standing over there right now.
Hey,
it is Joe. It is Sharif. I want to thank everybody for watching today. What a banger of a day, honestly. I feel like a bunch of winners, man. IBIT breaks. We're out of that as it takes out 88,000. Now bouncing a little bit. Nvidia is going to take. Who thinks it's going to take out all-time highs today? Put up your hand.
Oh, today.
Obi, who thinks it can take out all-time highs today? Really?
I want to see the chart. How about let me look at the chart?
No, this feels like pure pressure.
Okay, yes, it's 148. Yeah. You know, in class when everybody raises their hands and you look around and you're like, oh, I don't want to be.
I don't want you to look at me and be like,
yeah, no. Yeah, you know what? It's trading 148 to 149. So yeah, today it's
we're 70 cents.
Well within.
We're $1 away.
Well within range.
$1 away.
Yeah.
All right. Without any further ado, let's go, Obi. Congratulations. Good day again. We'll have another one at 2 p.m. Join us then. Let's go over to the midday show at Sharif, and it's Joseph. Thank you.